go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I have 65 Christmas DIYs for you that I've made so far this year in 2023. We have everything from like traditional Christmas, we have Christmas gnomes, we have Christmas movie DIYs, and we have everybody's favorite gingerbread DIYs. So let's get crafting. This is going to be a longer video, and so I'll be sure to include chapters down below if you would like to hop around. So we're going to be doing a lot of Santa Claus, a lot of reindeer, very traditional Christmas DIYs today. And we're going to do a shabby chic makeover of this little Santa Claus sign. At first, I was just going to leave his face like natural wood, but then I was thinking it might be a little too light, so I decided to give it a light stain by mixing mostly water with Antique Wax by Waverly, and I'm only staining this part of his face because the rest of him is going to be covered with different materials. And then I need to paint his nose, and then I also decided to give him little rosy cheeks. So I'm using just some salmon colored acrylic and one of those little stencil brushes from the Dollar Tree, little dauber, to give me a perfect circle. Then I'm going to mix a little white in with that same color to give a little pink nose to our Santa Claus. Now for the hat, we're going to be using one of the little chair covers that look like giant Santa hats from Dollar Tree. It's not real plush, but that's what I wanted. I wanted like a fabric that I could use for his hat that would be able to kind of fold and go around that curve and kind of look a little bit more high end than the plushy stuff, but you can kind of use whatever you have. Now, the tricky part is kind of getting it cut to size. I just cut a little square out, and then I'm going to hot glue it right there on the upper part of that little cutout for the brim of his hat. Once I get that glue down, I can kind of cut off the excess material there. That part's going to be covered, so you don't have to worry about cutting that neat or anything. And then I'm going to hot glue it right here, making sure that I am purposely like leaving like little folds in the fabric to kind of give it kind of a more luxurious like 3D feel there. And so I kind of left like 2 or 3 like little major folds there, and I glue that down on that side too. At first I thought about folding it over, but then I decided, you know, this is going to be a standing project. I wanted to have a clean back. So I decided just to cut my fabric using some sharp scissors and just cutting it like straight with the line of the wood sign. Now, I was inspired to make this Santa Claus today by, I saw a picture on a blog. I think it was called Faux Your Eyes Only. I'll be sure to include a link to it in the video description below. But she made a really cute little Santa like this that was shabby chic. And I wanted to see if I could kind of recreate it, but only using supplies from the Dollar Tree. So far, everything's from the Dollar Tree, including the little mop head. I love using these. I always stock up for these for winter because I use them for fake snow, but they also work great for Santa Claus hats and for mustaches is what we're going to use here. So I want to cover that top brim of the Santa Claus hat with this. And it's a little tricky, so I just kind of cut down a rectangle that's about the right width. And then I'm going to like round the edges. And be aware when you cut these little mop heads from the Dollar Tree, they shed a lot. So kind of be prepared to that. I was trying to just cut the fabric on the back. One of you guys gave that to me as a tip, and it did help a little bit. And cut out like that little upside down U shape there to go on the top of the hat. Just a matter of kind of pulling out any of the excess shedding and shaping that. Now I'm just going to hot glue that down, kind of covering up the fabric that was folded there in the top to give me a fluffy little Santa hat. So cute. We're not going to do any eyes or anything on this. Maybe the Santa hat is covering his eyes. Maybe he's a little bit more abstract. But that's how he looks so far, and so cute. Now for the beard, she had hers with like lace and fabric like rags, and so I'm going to try to do the same. Now, this is a white lace ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree, and then I'm also going to be using some of their white polyester fabric from the Dollar Tree. At first, I was going to use that bag, but it did not want to shred. So this fabric shreds perfectly, and I'll show you what I mean with that. So I'm just cutting it down into a little piece here. I'm going to cut down a couple rectangles. And then I am going to kind of fold that in half here, or cut that in half again, so I have little squares. Then I just cut like little notches about every inch or so. And then all you have to do is grab the fabric and rip, and you get a nice, like, shabby chic little rag strips, which is what I was going for. So we're just going to go ahead and do a few to get us started. Now, when they have strings on the side, I do try to pull them out so it's not too crazy, but you do want them to look a little bit shredded. And then I am just going to start hot gluing these on. I kind of left my pretty parts there on the bottom, because if I need to go in and trim it up, that'll be the part I cut off. So I kind of want the rag look everywhere else. So I'm just gluing them right next to each other, and I want to do a band of these all the way across. So we're going to have to rip a few more. So I'm just going to cut some more strips, and I'm not measuring these or anything. I'm just kind of estimating. And finished off the first row. Then we're going to switch to the white lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to cut pieces about the same length. And what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to go in and like alternate in between each one of the little rag strips that we did. Now, I don't do the shabby chic look often. I have done it for like 4th of July, but I really love it. It's really pretty. And this really kind of inspired me. And so I'm trying to cut out enough of the little lace ribbons to kind of go in between each one and fill out our beard. One more here on the right. Now, it's not very full, and I want a full beard. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and repeat the process. So for the next row, I'm going to switch back to the little rag strips. This time I'm gluing those like directly on top of the ribbon, but kind of making them kind of go off to the side. I want a nice full beard on this little guy. And I've never made a Santa beard like this before, so it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun putting this guy together. And I apologize if my voice sounds like crazy. My husband got really sick over Thanksgiving. He's actually still sick. And he finally gave it to me and my son. I took my son back to college from Thanksgiving break, and now he's sick and has all this testing. Ugh, I don't know what it is, but I am chugging orange juice and ready for it to go away. Now, I said I wanted it full, so I'm going to do another row of the lace ribbon. And I am just cutting enough strips I think it's going to take to fill it out. And then again, I'm just going to hot glue those right in between the two rag strips. And this final layer made it nice and full, nice fluffy beard, and really fun. Now, if you're wondering what I'm going to do with the mustache, we're going to use the mop head that we used on the top of the Santa hat. So I still have some pieces left over. So what I need to do is kind of cut two little kind of C shapes for each side. So I get one cut down to size, and I kind of use that for reference to cut down another. And again, they are going to shed, so be prepared for that. And it's going to be a nice fluffy little mustache for our Santa Claus. I'm just going to glue that on with hot glue, trying to make sure it's not going to cover up too much of his face. To the left side and the right side. He is looking so cute and festive already. Gonna give him a quick trim there on his little mustache, make it not quite so full. And then I want to decorate his little hat. That chair cover from the Dollar Tree that we used for his hat actually had a little white pom-pom on the tip that's going to be just the right size. So I'm just going to go ahead and snip that off the end. And we can put that here on our Santa hat. Now on my inspiration piece, she put like pine cones and jingle bells and stuff like that. And I don't have a lot of room since I did the little ball on the end of the Santa hat, but I did still want to kind of include jingle bells. And I have some of these giant jingle bells that I picked up at Dollar Tree that are just the silver ones. So I just string that with some twine, and I'm just going to tie that on to the tip of the Santa hat just for fun. He is looking so cute. I want to make mine standing, and so I actually got one of these little signs here from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use that to make it a standing sign. You could always lean this up against something if you wanted, or you could make it a hanging sign. It did have like a hole in it originally, you know. And then I'm going to go in and trim. So I'm kind of like just kind of cutting at an angle for one side and then kind of reversing that angle over here to trim all of our ribbon and fabrics to kind of give them that Santa beard shape and make them not quite so random length. And I do have quite a few layers, so I got to make sure that I get them all. And then I'm going to attach that little shabby chic Santa to that little stand so he can stand up as part of my Christmas decor. I love using these to make stands. You could also use like the little wood circle frames if you can't find these, but I don't have any trouble finding these. I use these all the time. But I am going to use a combination of E6000 and hot glue because it's metal. I want to make sure that this stays together, and you know, metal and hot glue doesn't always play nice, but I do want it on there for the quick hold. And this Santa hat sign, even with all that stuff we added to it, was still not very heavy at all, and this size stand really had no problem holding it up just right. He's looking super cute. Now, I was looking at him and I was like, you know, the paint on the face is a little much for me. I do want to distress it. So I am going to go in with a little ivory, a little dry brushing, and just give a light distress on the nose and the rosy cheeks for the final touch of my little Santa Claus DIY. And let me show you how he looks. He's so cute. Rosy cheeks, little nose, kind of reminds me a little bit of a gnome. Santa Claus. I think he's really sweet and really fun. And thank you so much to whoever runs that blog for the inspiration. I love it. And I hope you do too. Now, I found the perfect thing to display this little Santa Claus with. This was at the Target dollar spot for $5. It lights up. It's a reindeer barn. It's covered in glitter, and it's got 3 little reindeer inside. Look how cute this is. It's absolutely beautiful. Doesn't need anything, but I'm going to display it with that Santa Claus, so I kind of wanted to show you where I got it. And Target dollar spot, they have some really cute stuff this year. So here it is, our little reindeer barn. It lights up just like the little houses and stuff like that. You know, I also got the glittery gingerbread like cocoa cafe that I used on my gingerbread coffee bar. So much fun. I love it. And this is how the little reindeer barn looks next to our little shabby chic Santa Claus. Okay, for the next DIY, we're going to use one of these little plain wood frame signs from the Dollar Tree. And I designed the cutest printable for you guys. Look at this image of Santa Claus and a reindeer. I absolutely love it, and I will share that printable with you in the description below. It really made me smile because the Santa Claus looks just like one of my grandfathers that passed away when I was a child, and so it really made me smile, and I'm definitely going to have to keep this as part of a Christmas tradition. Now, I printed mine out 8.5 by 8.5, which is how big the opening of this Dollar Tree sign is. But my printer doesn't do like borderless, and so I do have a small gap. I think mine prints out like at 97%, but I did design it to be 8.5 by 8.5 inches wide. But you can always resize it for whatever your needs are. And I just put down a thin layer of Mod Podge and laid that down. I printed it out on cardstock, so I don't have to worry about wrinkling or anything like that, or dry time. I can just go over it with my next coat of Mod Podge to seal it on top. And this part's really important because it's going to give it like a really great texture, like a painting, and just a really great surface on there. Now, I don't really like the unfinished part of the frame. It's like an MDF around the edges. So I thought we could dress it up with some of this greenery from the Dollar Tree. These are the little wired garland ties. And I am just going to cut them down to size. I'm going to cut one piece for each part of the frame. I kind of go edge to edge on top to bottom and then kind of fill in the gap for the sides. And I thought that would be really cute. Attached to it, it's definitely going to give you that vintage Christmas feel. But I really like my Christmas trees to be kind of flocked. Now, for my first one, I used way too much paint, but what I'm doing is I'm just using some white acrylic and a little chunky brush from Dollar Tree and flocking these. Since I put too much on there, I kind of wiped off the excess with a baby wipe, but less is more. You kind of want to dry brush it like this for the other ones to give it that flocked look of Christmas trees, and I think this really gave it a nice vibe. Once I got those all painted, now we can attach it. I thought the easiest way would be just to use my staple gun, but you could probably get away with using hot glue. You just have to be careful because that Dollar Tree greenery, it does melt a little bit. Now I decided to kind of make mine one continuous way all the way around, so it'll kind of look like a continuous piece of garland going around. So I did kind of make sure they were all going that same direction. And that frame is plenty thick enough to use a staple gun on and just kind of tack those down. And then you can always fluff out your greenery to cover up your staples. And how easy is that? Again, I will include this free printable. I absolutely love it. It's so vintage. It's so cute. There's even like a little bird, like I'm sitting in the reindeer's antlers. Isn't that so cute? And the Santa Claus looks just like my Grandpa Morgan. Isn't this so fun? Now, this is a hanging sign, but you know what? I think I might just actually lean it up in my decor in a cabinet or something like that. You could use it either way, and the hanger could always just, hide behind it. Isn't that so cute? Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about memberships. For $4.99 a month, you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos, and it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube. All you have to do is hit the join button underneath this video. Okay, back to the crafting. I was inspired so much by the little Santa Claus, I wanted to see what I could do with one of these Dollar Tree reindeer. Now, most people just paint these, but I thought that might be boring, so I wanted to see how many textures I could bring into this and how we could decorate this. Now, I've had this problem with these before. They do not want to unglue. I don't know if it's this material it's made out of. It's not wood. It's like MDF. And my first antler broke, which I was a little concerned about because this was the only reindeer sign I had, but I really wanted to do this project still, so we're going to make it work. I can just attach it to the top, so I decided to break off the other one the same way and not really worry about this. I cleaned it up a little bit, but that can just be the back of my reindeer, and I can just flip it over and kind of have a blank canvas on the other side. Now, what I was thinking, it would be really cute to have a reindeer that was like covered in burlap for the brown part, for its head. And then do like a different kind of texture for the little antlers. I did have to trim them up a little bit, but I can just attach them to the top of the head like that, and it'll be as good as new. I'm still going to make it a hanging sign. Now, this is the burlap we're going to use. This is the Dollar Tree burlap. It comes in a roll, and I just want to get a piece that I can cover the entire reindeer with. So I'm going to cut out a square of this that's going to cover the ears, the head, everything. And I'm going to show you a little trick for cutting burlap so that it doesn't ravel out. So a lot of you guys have told me that you had a lot of luck with this, and I've tried it a couple times, and it definitely works really well. I'm going to kind of just lay my reindeer on top of the burlap. And I'm going to use a Sharpie just because I didn't know if a pen would really show up on the burlap. And I'm carefully kind of sketching it out, trying not to get like ink on the side of my reindeer sign. And then we can cut that out. Now, it's kind of hard to work with because, this Dollar Tree burlap is rolled. And so I was like, how am I going to do this if it keeps rolling up on me? And I'm like, you know what? I have my Cricut Easy Press right here. Let me just give it a quick press real quick, and it's just going to make my life easier. So let me iron this real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edges where we did the Sharpie outline in the reindeer head. And we were just going to paint those areas with Mod Podge. and then give that a quick dry with my heat gun. And then I can cut around there, cut out any kind of shape, and the burlap is not going to fray. And as you can tell by the edges of this, that's not normally the case. It likes to fray a lot. But I don't want it to look real sloppy. I want it to look real clean along the edges. You don't want to use too much, just enough to kind of cover the area where you're going to cut. And so I just used a small paintbrush and just kind of painted that on. And then I went in and gave it a quick dry with my heat gun. And then we can cut it out, and you can see how great this cuts. I'm trying to cut like the whole Sharpie part off. I don't really want any of that black on my burlap, and this worked really well. Another thing that I use a lot and will be using later on is those little burlap bags from the Dollar Tree. Those don't fray, that like synthetic burlap. Those are great for covering items like this too, but I wanted to use real burlap on this one. I needed something that was just as cool as that little Santa, so I'm going to give it a go and try to come up with a reindeer design. I'm just going to leave the MDF brown. I think that's fine. If you wanted the white to show through or something like that, you could paint it white first. And then I'm going to put down a pretty good coat of Mod Podge all over. The fabric is kind of thick, and I don't really want to Mod Podge over the top of the burlap, so you want to do enough that's going to adhere it and just lay your little cutout right on top of your little reindeer head. Just smoothing that out. It's looking cute. Now, I told you I wanted to cover the antlers with something else. And so I thought I wanted something else brown and something else that would look reindeer-like. And so instead of burlap on these, we're going to switch it up to the Dollar Tree faux leather. And I do have some of the brown. Looks like I've used it before on another project. And I am just going to roll it over, and I can use an ink pen now and just kind of trace out exactly how big my little antlers are so that I can cut these down to size. Now, this faux leather from the Dollar Tree is real easy to work with. It is a breeze to cut. You can cut any kind of custom shapes like that, and it seems to hold up pretty well. The only problems I've had crafting with this stuff is it does not like to glue to itself, and it does not like to glue to glass. Two things I found out. And so I'm just going to carefully go around that ink line and cut this down to size, trying to get it the perfect size to fit on my antlers with no like sharp edges. So kind of take your time on that part. And even though it's a lot darker than the burlap, I think it's going to be a nice complementary brown color. It's going to look really cute on this reindeer DIY. And we've got some plans to decorate these little antlers as well for Christmas. And I absolutely love how this DIY turned out. And we've almost got this one trimmed down. And now we can attach. Now, you could use a stronger glue than Mod Podge. I'm just going to use Mod Podge and kind of give it a chance to dry. You could also use like Dollar Tree tacky glue if you like. I think I'd probably avoid hot glue though, because I think that faux leather might possibly melt. So I just do a nice thick coat of Mod Podge all over mine, and it seemed to work, but it did take a few minutes to dry. So we're going to do that on both of those. Now, the hanger for the little reindeer was on the antlers. So once I get these on there and get them dry, I can go in and kind of poke that back through. I'm just using a little Cricut weeder just to poke a hole through the front. It doesn't have to be pretty or anything. I'm going to have twine come through there. I'll have a knot tied in the front. It'll kind of hide it anyway. But I want to make sure that that is all glued down. And look how cute the brown leather looks with the burlap. Now, I do need something to kind of reinforce it to make it strong since they don't overlap like they did before. And so I'm going to do that with popsicle stick. So let's flip it over and kind of line it up where I want it. I kind of like it better flat like this than it was before anyway. And then I can do like a little half of a popsicle stick on each one. And the sign is thick. It's not necessarily thick enough for my stapler, so I am just going to use hot glue to hot glue that popsicle stick onto the back, and you won't be able to see it. It'll hide back there, and it seemed to be plenty strong to hold up the little reindeer antlers. He's looking so cute. Definitely needs a nose though. And I'm going to use like just a little Dollar Tree wood puzzle piece as a reference just because I needed a circle. And again, we're going to be using that chair cover that we got from the Dollar Tree. So he'll have a little matching red Rudolph nose to go with that Santa Claus that we made. And I just use that as a template to draw a little circle on there with an ink pen, and I can cut this perfect little circle down to size. Circles are hard. I do not try them unless I have a roadmap. And then I'm going to use Mod Podge to glue that down. It's just a, kind of a nice felt that material is made out of. It crafted really well. I'm going to kind of spread out the Mod Podge with my baby wipe to make sure that kind of glues evenly and doesn't look hardened or anything like that, and help it out with my heat gun. Now, I was trying to think what I can make its eyes with, and I was thinking that the brown leather would be good because it'd be a nice complementary color to the antlers. Now, I'm just drawing on the back with a Sharpie. That first eye was way too big, so I'm going to make two a little smaller, and we're just going to make little closed eyes. Definitely the easiest way to make an eye for an animal like this. Two little C shapes. And I'm just going to cut those down to size with the brown leather. And I'm really glad that I decided to give it eyes because I think it gave it a lot of personality, and it was so easy to make with this faux leather. So just cutting those down, trying to make them uniform and look good. Isn't that so sweet so far? And kind of line those up where I think his little eyes would be. And I'm going to use tacky glue for this one. It's a little too small to try to get Mod Podge in, and tacky glue works great for projects like this. I also picked that up at the Dollar Tree. I get my Mod Podge at the Dollar Tree too because I love the little bottles because I don't have to worry about them drying up. And glue them right in place. Now I'm going to replace the hanger, so I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree twine for that. And I'm just going to feed that in through the back and again, knot it in the front of the antlers. It's just a matter of getting it through there. If you have trouble kind of feeding it through, you might need to put a little hot glue on the end of your twine to kind of make it a little bit harder, but I was able to feed mine through pretty easily. And then I'm just going to knot it in front, and that twine goes great with the burlap that is on the little reindeer face. So we're going to do the same thing over here on the other side. And I told you we were going to be decorating the antlers because even though he's so cute, I think we can really make him even cuter. So I did have a little bit more trouble feeding this side in, so I just used a Cricut weeder to kind of help me feed it in there. And then I wanted to use a fun decoration, and I thought this little snowflake ornament that I got at Dollar Tree would be perfect. It's like a glittery brown snowflake with like ribbon, greenery, and stuff like that on there. And even though it's got a hole in it, we can kind of disguise that. I think this is going to work great and provide a lot of character to this little guy. So I'm just going to glue that little snowflake here right on top. Just a quick, easy way to decorate him. I thought about a bow, but I kind of like that better. And then I thought it would be really cute to use these little decorative bells from the Dollar Tree. They're all strung together to make it look like the little reindeer has jingle bells wrapped all over his antlers. I've seen people do this with like Christmas lights and stuff, and it like that. It looks so cute. And I didn't have any Christmas lights like that, so I thought jingle bells would be perfect. And I love how this turned out. So these are like the silver and gold jingle bells, and I'm fine with that. And they're strung on silver line. I'm just going to kind of string them around the antler like that to look like it's completely wrapped around. And they do have a little bit of play where you can kind of move them around to kind of get the jingle bell right where you want. I do want one on the top of that snowflake to kind of cover that hole right there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that little jingle bell in place. And we're going to wrap these and glue these around both of the antlers. And I'm so glad I added these. These are so fun, and they even jingle. So I'm just going to kind of glue them in place right where I want them. I want them kind of random, some going up, some going down. I definitely want them all on the front of the antlers so that it doesn't make the reindeer kind of stick out from the wall. So then we're going to do the same thing here on the other side. We're just going to string these all around like they're all tangled around his antlers. It's not going to require the full strand, but I use most of it here. And then I'm going to just kind of cut this one down and glue those in place as well. I think he turned out so cute. You guys know my son always loved to see all of my DIYs, and he's not feeling too well. And so we were FaceTiming earlier, so I had to show him the DIYs, and this one was his favorite. You guys know he has good taste. So here is Chase's favorite little Rudolph. Now the bow kind of didn't really have anything really cute in the middle of it, so I'm also going to glue another one of the little jingle bells from that set right there to the center of the little buffalo check bow. But I think that is plenty, and it jingles. So if you hang this on a door, I think I might hang mine on the door to the garage, so it'll jingle every time you go in and out. I'm sure my husband will really appreciate it. But look how cute he is. I love him, and I'm so glad I decided to DIY him. Isn't he so cute? I think the leather and the burlap look really good together. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Okay, next DIY. Have you guys seen these new signs from the Dollar Tree? I love them. They have like a burlap background. I'm just going to pop off the little clip I don't need. It was just glued on. It's got a brown border with like little like brass rivets around there. It's already got a built-in stand and everything. And I thought this would be great to DIY with. We're going to use some of the macrame cord from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we can make a really cute little snowman on this side. The burlap background, the frame, the stand, all of that's already done. So I can just kind of decorate it however I want. And since it's a tall sign, I think a snowman's going to be perfect. I love this macrame cord. I love crafting with it. I stock up on this. I probably need to stock up on it more because I've used so much of it. What I want to do is just like spiral my little macrame cord, and we're going to do 3 circles to make our snowman. So I'm going to start here in the bottom. I'm going to just start right in the center of where I want my circle to be. And then I'm going to do a little circle of hot glue and squeeze those around. Go around and kind of repeat the process. My hot glue gun kind of shoots out a lot of hot glue, so I could kind of do a multiple rows on one shot of glue there. But I'm trying really hard not to get any glue on the top of the macrame cord because I find that it doesn't dry too nice, so I'm trying to avoid that if possible. And I'm just going to kind of have the end of it be here at the bottom because there definitely has to be an end to it, and I think that'll be fine. So I'm going to make sure I clean up any excess hot glue again. I don't want to get any on top because it kind of yellows, I've noticed, when it dries if you get any hot glue on top. Now for the second circle, I'm going to start in the middle again, and then I will stop when I get to the little circle for the snowman bottom. So again, I start in the middle. I do like a circle of hot glue, and all I am doing is just going around in circles with that, gluing that down. I thought it would be easier just to do it while it's attached to the sign rather than making these separate like little tiny coasters. Just make sure you don't burn yourself. This one I'm going to have like the seam kind of go up towards the top. I'm using my little hot glue finger protector there from Dollar Tree. It works great for stuff like this. And then I want the top circle of my snowman to be even smaller, so I didn't give myself quite as much room for this one. And we're going to make a little snowman head. I wanted to make sure that I left myself plenty of room to make a little snowman hat. We're going to make a very traditional like little snowman with this. And I have the seam there at the top on that one as well. I can kind of hide that a little bit probably with the hat, which we're going to make out of one of these little black leather bags from the Dollar Tree. I love crafting with these. So if you can't find like the faux leather at Dollar Tree, be sure to check out like the bags. Now, I'm actually not using the leather because this has a brown leather frame. I thought that might kind of be distracting, so I'm actually using the black felt on the inside. I really like crafting with that too. And as you can see, I'm just cutting down a very simple little snowman hat, just kind of seeing what scale would fit my little snowman. And we're going to use it like felt side up, a little traditional black snowman hat, and we'll kind of like probably tilt it off to this side like that. Super cute. And I also want to kind of cover up that area up there where the little clip was glued on. Now for buttons, I'm using Dollar Tree buttons and just trying to find 2 of my tiniest black ones. He's not a very big snowman, so I want to get some of the smallest ones I can. I found 2 that I think will work. And then for the eyes, I need it to be even smaller. So I'm going to be using these little stickers from the Dollar Tree. I know they're hot pink, but you know what? You can always paint these, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to take 2 of those little stickers and paint them with some acrylic. I just go over mine with a couple coats of black acrylic, and we'll have 2 tiny little eyes because the snowman head is not big enough to have like little button eyes or anything like that. And I definitely wanted something besides paint for the eyes. Now, for the snowman nose, I was lucky enough to find some orange modeling clay at Dollar Tree, so I thought that would be perfect, but you can use whatever you have. If you have any of the Model Magic too, you can do that really easily. Making a carrot shape for the nose is so easy. It's just like a little V shape, if you will, like a carrot. I kind of made mine a little too big, so I'm just making mine a little bit smaller. And you can even make lines in the carrot with like your fingernails or something like that to kind of make it look realistic. I'm just kind of molding mine until it's perfect. And if you do have like the white Model Magic from Dollar Tree, you can't find the clay, you could totally use that too and just paint it orange. Now for the scarf for our little snowman, we are again using that little chair cover from Dollar Tree. And I just cut out a little strip. I just want to make a little tiny red scarf. And so I just cut out a little strip here and kind of straighten out the edges. Now it's time to decorate our snowman. So a little dot of hot glue for each one of my buttons. We're only going to do buttons on this middle part of the snowman body. And then we can also do his hat, his eyes, and his carrot nose, even his cute little scarf. So I did kind of want to cover that area up there at the top where there was a little clip. But I also kind of want my snowman hat to be at an angle a little bit. I think that's going to give him a little bit of character. So I think that looks pretty good. And this is pretty durable, so I'm just going to hot glue that on with no problem. Right where I want it. Now for the little face, we can just go ahead and attach that with hot glue too. We painted the little eyes black. Now, these are actually like little stickers, but I'm really not gonna trust the adhesive on them, especially since I kind of needed to clean it up a little bit to kind of get the extra paint off the edges. So I just attach mine with a little dot of hot glue on both. And we're not gonna do like a little smile or anything like that. I think the snowman's a little too tiny. I think he's just gonna have room for little eyes and of course that little carrot nose that we made out of clay. So I'm going to hot glue it right there where it kind of points off to the side. Super cute and classic snowman looking. And now we can just go ahead and attach the scarf. I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. I decided to cut mine like 2/3 and just go ahead and do that part. I kind of wanted to make it look like it's kind of blowing in the wind. And then I can cut down the tail part for the other part and kind of glue that coming straight down to the side. Now, right here, I thought I hit record, but I guess I just turned my camera on. But what you missed was I used some of the wire jute from Dollar Tree. I cut down 2 little arms for a snowman, hot gluing the ends so that it would not fray from the wire. And then I used twine for like the little hand, doing a little piece on the top and a little piece on the bottom of each one of my little wired jute. And it makes perfect little snowman arms to kind of fill out my snowman. Just trying to clean up any excess hot glue on there. I was trying to decide if I was going to save this bow. It's kind of cute, but I kind of would like to do something a little bit more Christmassy down here. So I just removed that with a little heat. And then I thought jingle bells would look really cute down there. They would coordinate nicely with like the rivets on the sides. And since there isn't any of those on the bottom, we could just use jingle bells instead. So these are kind of tied onto the string. I just want like the individual jingle bells. And so I'm going to do like the brass colored ones. So they'll kind of match the brass rivets on this side. And I'm going to do 3 of them to go along the bottom of the little snowman sign. And I'm just going to attach them with hot glue. I'm going to have this one kind of pointing down. I'm going to have the other 2 kind of pointing up just to kind of make it random. And that part of the snowman sign is complete. I love that burlap sign. I'm glad I picked up a bunch of those. I first saw them a couple months ago down in Boca Raton, but now we have them at our stores here too. Now to decorate the base, I thought some of these little holly berries, they're kind of frosted. Greenery from the Dollar Tree would be cute. I'm going to do like just a couple of those little leaves, just cutting those apart individually. And some of the little frosted berries. I love that they look like they're covered in snow. And I'm just going to kind of hot glue those, kind of one going off to the side, kind of one coming out in the front. Just add a little Christmas flair. I'm also going to add the berries. I just have to cut off the stem on those to make them easy to attach. And I just kind of hot glue those right in between. And there it is, our little macrame snowman. I think he turned out so cute and was a great use for one of these new little frames from Dollar Tree. I think that is a great deal for $1.25 because the frame is done, the sign, the stand is done, the burlap is done, and everything. And you can just add whatever you want to it. And how sweet is that little macrame snowman? Complete with some jingle bells and some Christmas greenery at the bottom. I love him. He's so sweet. Okay, next DIY. I actually have one of these little autumn envelopes. They seem to have these for every season if you have one laying around. And then I also designed a printable, which I will include for you. And I'm going to use another one of those Dollar Tree square signs. They're my favorite. And I thought we could do a really fun, like, letters to Santa theme with one of these little envelope signs. So if you've got one of these laying around, I think they come out, well, Valentine's Day. I don't know if they come out for Christmas. I want mine to be gold, though. So I'm going to go outside and give it a quick spray. And now the little metal envelope is now gold. I thought that would be festive for Christmas. I do kind of want to mask where it says autumn and the little picture on there. So I just do that with a little white acrylic just to kind of give me a blank canvas. We're going to cover that with burlap, but I don't want any of that showing through. Now I'm just going to leave like the hanger on this sign. Again, this is 8.5 by 8.5, so perfect for a sheet of paper. And I designed a great printable, it's very shabby chic, letters to Santa background. And I printed mine out 97% because that's as big as I can get it. So it's going to fill out most of the frame. And again, I print mine out on cardstock. It makes it so easy to DIY with. And how cute is this image? I'm going to just secure it to the sign. I go all over the Dollar Tree sign with a quick layer of Mod Podge. And then just lay that printable right on top. I designed this one with AI and it had like lots of typos on it. So I did have to go in there and do quite a bit of editing on it, but I think it turned out really pretty. And I just smooth that out with a paper towel to make sure that it's all laying flat. And then I can go right back in there with some more Mod Podge to seal it down. This is going to give us a great background for a little letters to Santa display. I think that looks really cute. Again, I want to do something about the frame because I don't really like the MDF plain exposed wood there. And I thought we could use some more of this white lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree. This is the same ribbon that we used on Santa's beard. And I thought that'd be really cute to kind of tie them together. And I think that looks very shabby chic. And so we're just going to frame it out with that. It's the perfect size. So I'm just going to cut this down to size and we're just going to make a little lace ribbon frame. And I think it's really sweet. I think it definitely kind of goes with the vibe of the background that we designed there. And then my plan is to cover the inside of the envelope with some burlap and we can kind of personalize that, make a really cute little letters to Santa where it's actually an envelope where you can kind of put something in. Super sweet. I wanted to do very traditional Christmas with Santa and reindeers and stuff like that today. Snowmen. And so I'm just cutting a piece down to size. I'm not going to overlap those, so I cut my side pieces down a little bit shorter. Just kind of making sure the ruffle on mine is kind of pointing out on all four sides. Now, this is the burlap I was talking about earlier, the little burlap bags from the Dollar Tree. I love crafting with these. They are coated with plastic and they're synthetic burlap, so they cut without fraying. I've used this one for a previous DIY, so I kind of just have half of a bag left, and it's going to be perfect to give me a little piece of burlap to go inside my envelope. Now it's kind of a tricky shape that I need to cut down to size, so I'm just going to kind of lay this on the back where I can kind of sketch that out with a Sharpie that's envelope size, so I can kind of make a little custom back to the envelope for the inside of the envelope, make that look like burlap. And I'm just going to cut that down to size. Now it is going to have to actually like fit down inside the envelope. So I am going to have to kind of trim up the sides to make that happen. But I do need it to be that wide there at the top of the sides of the envelope. But I do need to kind of make a little notch on both sides. And I kind of trim that until it fits. And that looks pretty good. Now to decorate it, I wanted to say letters to Santa, and I thought it'd be really fun to try to do that with stamping. I picked up like these little alphabet stamp kit at Dollar General. Super cute, and I also got like a little ink pad there, and I thought we could just stamp letters to Santa on there. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be kind of random, and it actually turned out really cute. So let me take you through the process. I went ahead and found all my letters that I'm going to need. And letters is kind of a bigger word, so I kind of need to do it right here. And then I'll have to be fairly tight to get everything in where you'll be able to read it. I always like to kind of start in the center. I probably didn't push that one down quite hard enough just to kind of center my letters. And then I can just go and spell out the word letters. I kind of did a really bad job on that one. I was wondering, since I was quick, if I took a baby wipe, if I could kind of wipe it off. And I can, but I did get a little bit of bleeding from that. I tried to redo it. We are going to cover that in glitter a little bit later, so it does kind of help hide that mistake. But again, it's not supposed to look perfect. I thought it would kind of give the look of like a typewriter print or something like that for a letter to Santa. So we have letters. So now our second row is just going to be short. It's just going to be 2. So I'm going to kind of center that around our center T letter there for letters. And then Santa, again, we're going to start in the middle with N. And these 2 words are skinny enough that I think you're going to be able to read them just fine inside the envelope. So I just spell that all out. And stamping is really fun. It's not something that I am practiced at all, as you can tell. But I think it's kind of fun and whimsical. So now it's just a matter of attaching that inside the envelope to give a new back. Very cute. I definitely think the burlap goes well with the shabby chic, and so does the stamping. And I'm going to use Mod Podge. I think that's going to be the best way to attach it. Even though that has a plastic coating on the back, it seems to Mod Podge well. You just have to kind of give it a little bit of time to dry. So I just put a layer of Mod Podge and kind of slide this down into my envelope right into place. So if you have one of those envelope signs, you can totally make it into a Santa DIY. Again, I don't know. I don't think I've seen these for Christmas. They may have had them. I'm not sure. And then I'm just going to I think I'm going to kind of center it here. I thought about making it at the bottom, but then I kind of decided I kind of wanted it centered. And I'm going to attach my little metal envelope with hot glue. I just kind of go all over, kind of centering that on my sign and gluing it on there. So fun. Now I thought it needed something there at the top to kind of cover up the hole in that hanger and a little decoration. And I thought these little glitter stickers from Dollar Tree would be perfect. They have a reindeer, so that's totally going to go with their little letters to Santa theme. And it's gold and sparkly and so pretty. And it kind of inspired me to glitter the burlap there. And that's what I did, but I forgot to hit record again. But this is what I did. I just sprayed it with some multi-purpose spray glue, and I used some gold glitter that I picked up at Walmart and went all over. I probably should have done that before I put it all together, but I was able to do it pretty good. And I love the shimmer to the burlap now. I think it looks so pretty. And it kind of hid that area where I kind of like messed up my stamping a little bit. But I love the gold shimmer. It definitely goes well with the gold metallic envelope. See how it shimmers? And it goes nicely with that little reindeer as well. Super cute and sweet little letters to Santa DIY. The pictures don't show the glitter as well as the video did, so I'm glad that I showed you that too. But I think it's so cute, and I love that background. So cute, and I will be sure to include that printable. I'll include a link to my Google Drive in the description below. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about our private Facebook group. I have it linked in the description below. You'll find out when I post new content, and you'll get to see what everyone else has been crafting. I also have a Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube on all of those. Okay, let's get back to the DIYs. I picked up 2 of these like cheap bells from the Dollar Tree, and I thought we could give them a makeover and kind of make them look glam. They're kind of pretty as is, but I thought we could make them even more special. So I'm going to kind of take off the cheap bow and greenery and stuff like that and kind of give them a little bit of a makeover. Now, they're already gold, but I'm actually going to go in and spray paint them gold because I kind of wanted them to be the same shade as that little envelope that we just DIY'd. I think it looks just a little bit better. So I'm just going to stick a paintbrush in the end to kind of make a handle. I'm going to go outside with my metallic gold spray paint and just spray the outside of these. And I'll kind of show you, I'll do one at a time so you can kind of see the difference, to see why I did it. Completely optional. This is the difference. It's just going to give you a different sheen. I just think it looks a little bit more high end. So I'm going to go ahead and paint both of those, give them a quick dry. And then I was trying to think of something that I could decorate them with. And I have some of these rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree, and they are gold metallic. And I thought we could do something really fun with this design. Now, I only have 1 sheet of them, so I'm going to have to be frugal and kind of use the whole thing. And the shape of the bell is kind of weird, where I'm not going to be able to put down a whole sheet of them at a time, so I'm going to have to kind of cut them out. So I just kind of cut like a curvy pattern around the designs in there, so I don't really cut anything off. That way I can kind of cut it down into little pieces that we can use that transfer method and kind of put them wherever we need, and it's going to be nice and flat. And I'm going to use every single one on here. I wasn't able to cover the front and back of both of them, but I was able to cover the front and the sides of both of them, so you can't really tell that the back doesn't have any on there. But it's just a matter of peeling the back off, placing them on. At first I was scraping really hard with like a little scraper, but then I realized how easy it was for this foil to come off. And you can see how glittery these are. They're way more sparkly than I expected, but I kind of liked it. This one I did not cut the same as the other one, so just trimming that one down so it'll fit. And look at that gold sparkle. I think it's really fun and glamorous for Christmas. I'm just going to kind of repeat that pattern all around, just kind of alternating where I place those, just kind of wherever, like I'm doing it upside down, kind of down here on the bottom part of the bell. And we are just going to continue to do that. I realized they were so easy to transfer that I was just using my fingers and like my fingernail to scrape those down. It's probably the easiest ones I've ever used. I don't know if it's because they're like the gold foil, but they were really easy to transfer. So I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around. If you've ever done these before and you've done a pattern like this, you know it is a little time intensive, but I think it turns out really cool, and it really made these bells like really pop. I love the design instead of just being plain gold bells. I kind of wish I had 2 sheets of these so I could have done all the way around the backs as well, but I'm just going to use mine for a wall hanging, so I don't think you're going to be able to tell as long as I have them placed correctly. So I'm using like all the corner pieces wherever, and I'm just kind of repeating that pattern all over, kind of like a wallpaper print. And it just really gave like kind of a gold leaf texture all over. It actually turned out a lot cooler than I expected. At first I was like, I don't know if you're really going to be able to see the gold on gold, but you totally can. So this is how they look. I'm just kind of wiping off any of the excess to make sure it's nice and flat. And it has this really cool pattern all over our little bells. Now, I thought they'd make a really nice wall hanging to hang the 2 together. So they have like little holes punched through here where the greenery was. And so I kind of want to cover that up. So I'm just going to take some twine and bring that through and kind of tie that off. I don't really want to cover the center though, because I want to be able to hang these up. So I kind of need that part open and just kind of tie it around. I want to kind of wrap that around to cover all that anyway. And I think the twine will look nice. So I'm just going to kind of do that with rope. I tied this one off, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And then I'm going to cut another piece of twine to feed down through the center. It's not going to have like an actual, what are those things called that rings the bell? I can't remember. If you can remember, leave it in the comments below. It's not going to have one of those, which I think is fine. I don't think it really needs it. And I feed that through knotted on the inside so it'll stay in there. And then I continue that jute rope all the way around, filling in the hole and covering up the plastic sides where it was all kind of cut up before. And we're going to go through and do the same thing on the second bell. I'm so glad I've almost made it all the way through this voiceover. With this cold, I really didn't know if I was going to be able to talk this long. I have had to take lots of breaks and use cough drops, but I think we've almost made it. So again, I tied that one off, and then before I cover everything, I feed another strand of the jute inside, knotting it inside so it won't fall off. And then I glue this in a spiral pattern, working my way up, covering all the plastic pieces, and then cutting off my twine. I thought it'd be really kind of high end to do some wood beads on there. So I have a couple of different sizes. I've got these on Amazon, but you could totally use the ones from Dollar Tree too. I thought I would do like a small one, a large one, and then like 2 small ones on mine. And I'm going to do the same pattern here on the other one. It's only going to have like wood beads here at the bottom part, but I think that'll make it look nice. And then I made the twine nice and long so that we can kind of tie them together. So I tied them together right about here. And then I'm going to tie another knot at the top to make a hanger. And then I kind of wanted to make like a quick, easy, like little swag to attach to those and to kind of make it like a little decorative piece to hang on the wall. Now I found this little gift topper for $1 at the Target dollar spot. It's wood. It says Merry in gold. So I thought that would be perfect. It's got wood beads on it too, which I'm going to cut off because I thought it might be competing against the wood beads that I've already got on there. And then I'm going to use some of this glittery garland picks from Dollar Tree. I thought this would go really nice with some of the DIYs we've done today and really nice with the gold theme on the bells. So they are wired, so I'm just wiring mine together. So I did 3 of them, and then I'm going to do like 2 more to form like just a little tiny swag. And I just kind of get a big pile of metal there at the top. And then I am going to attach it right where we kind of knotted the bells together the first time and bend the wire over to hang the swag on top. And then I cut the wood beads off my little gift tag hanger, and I'm going to tie that around too to kind of keep it in place at the same area. It's hard to see right now, but you'll be able to see it in just a second. Let me lay it down so you can see it. So the gold sparkles are so cute on there. I used some more twine to kind of tie everything in place, make sure the swag is not going to go anywhere. Just knotting that and cutting off the excess twine. Now we have a little hanger at the top. We have a little glittery swag, a little Merry tag, some wood beads, and our beautifully decorated Dollar Tree bells. Aren't they so sweet? And this is how it looks hanging together. I think this would look great anywhere. This would be cute on a door. I think I'm going to hang this maybe like right outside my bedroom. I have a little wall there. I always like to hang something really cute. And look how cute those bells turned out. I love them. Very gold and traditional, but with a little fun and modern touches to them. I hope you're enjoying today's Christmas DIY video. If you are, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Okay, up next we have some really fun Christmas gnome DIYs. So the first one we're going to do is a gnome pot. I thought this sounded like a really fun idea. So I got a little metal pot from the Dollar Tree, a tall one. And I got a gnome stocking from the Dollar Tree and a little Dollar Tree tinsel tree and some Dollar Tree garland. We're going to put all these together and make a really cute gnome flower pot. So the first thing I want to do is just take the little nose and the beard off of the little gnome stocking. They have these every year at Dollar Tree. I love buying these to use for gnomes. I use them year round for gnomes. They work great because you can just peel it off like that. Now, I do want to caution you to avoid using heat when you peel them off the stockings because the beard and the stocking will melt if you use your heat gun. So I'm just going to hot glue it. Mine has the twine up here at the top. It doesn't really get in my way. It kind of gives me something to glue to. So I went ahead and glued it down a little bit because this pot is nice and tall. So this entire beard is going to fit. I also kind of tacked down the sides with a little bit of hot glue too. But I left a little bit of space above the beard. Now, this is going to be the gnome hat. It's also going to be a Christmas tree. And so it doesn't matter which one you get. I just picked up a tinsel tree from Dollar Tree. I love just taking these apart and making them my own. So you get this great cage underneath. And so I'm going to clean up all that tinsel mess. My best tip is to get one of those lint rollers from the Dollar Tree to clean those up because my gosh, they're so messy. And it was almost a perfect fit, but there were like little tabs sticking out on the side of my plastic cage. So I just went in with some heavy duty scissors and kind of trimmed those down. And it's going to fit in there. It's going to be snug, but I think it's going to fit in there perfectly for my gnome hat. Now to make it not so tippy, I'm just going to put some Dollar Tree stones in the bottom just to weigh it down. And then we can put it in there. It's not going to stay by itself because it's like such a perfect fit. So I'm going to go in with some hot glue all the way around and just kind of glue it in place and let that hot glue set up. Now, if you had a real Christmas tree or any other kind of Christmas tree that has like the cone shape of this, it would work great for a gnome hat as well. So I just glue that in kind of flush with the top of my flower pot. And we're going to use that Dollar Tree garland to build a Christmas tree. So this is just from the Dollar Tree. I have one package. One package was almost enough. I did use part of another package that I had left over. And I just start at the top. It is a wired garland, so super easy. I just kind of pinched it to the very tip of the Christmas tree like this. And let me lay it down so you can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better. It's hard to see from the top when I have things standing up. And I just simply wind it around. I'm trying to keep it as tight as I can. I don't want you to see any of the plastic cage, but all the little bumps and grooves on the little cage is great for keeping this in place. And I just want to build a little Christmas tree. So it's going to look like there's a little Christmas tree growing out of a pot, and the pot is a gnome. So it's going to look like a gnome plant. Really fun idea. Once I got the tree completely covered, I'm also going to go over the rope part here to do like the brim of the hat for the gnome. So I attach it with a little hot glue to kind of keep it in place here and there. And I kind of wanted to go around twice, and I really only had enough to go around once. And so I do go back and add another one later, but right now I kind of wanted my ends to be in the back. So I just went ahead and hot glued that down and cut off the little piece that was left over. And that part of the gnome is done. All you can kind of fluff it out a little bit, kind of make it look a little bit better. But it definitely gives you like that Christmas tree shape, and it's really easy. Now, since we're doing a Christmas tree and I'm doing traditional theme on this one, I thought Christmas lights would be perfect. So these are the little LED mini lights from Dollar Tree. I just picked up the white light. You could do whatever color you wanted. Couple of AA batteries in there, and this one's going to be ready to go. I was really hoping that this one package would be enough for the tree, and the tree is pretty small, so one package was plenty. So I'm just going to go ahead and string these lights. I'm going to start at the very top. I'm going to turn mine on when I string them so I kind of know, what I'm going to get at the end. And I kind of string it in from the middle there, and then we can wrap it around. So let me try that again. String it in from the middle, and then I'm just going to simply wrap them around. I want to try to keep like the light box in the back. And we're going to kind of hide it inside the little Christmas tree where it's still accessible. So I just kind of tuck it in a gap between the cage and the garland. but I don't want it to fall in and then not be accessible to be able to turn on and off or to change the batteries. So I just used a little tiny Dollar Tree zip tie and zip tied that to the cage itself so the little battery pack won't go anywhere, but it did a great job of hiding all tucked away inside of our Christmas tree, and I'm so glad I decided to add lights to this one. I think it made it turn out so cute. Now I wanted to decorate it like a Christmas tree, but again, I really wanted that second row of greenery to go around, and I did have a scrap piece of this, so I just wrap around one more row and kind of wire it to itself and can kind of tuck in the ends back here in the back. And I like that better. It kind of finished it up more. And then we can decorate the tree. These are the little mini Christmas ornaments from the Dollar Tree. I picked up the shiny red. Thought they were very classic Christmas. I also picked up some Christmas ornament hangers at Dollar Tree, and we're just going to simply hang them on. The little mini ornaments do come with like gold ribbon in there, but I thought it would be easier just to use like real little ornament hangers. And it made me smile trying to find my ornament hangers because I knew I bought some and then I couldn't find them. And it reminded me of my mother. When I was little, she would always buy Christmas ornament hangers and then she would never be able to find them when we went to decorate the tree. And it was always so funny. Such a thing she always did, and it really brought a smile to my face and gave me a nice Christmas memory of when she was with us. So I'm just going to go ahead and decorate the entire Christmas tree all over, just scattering out my little red ornaments. They hang on there really well. You can just hang them on your garland or on the cage, wherever you can kind of fit them in. And I want to decorate the front, the sides, and the back, just to kind of make it look like a little Christmas tree. I'm not going to do a tree topper because I want to keep that gnome shape. I don't want to take away from that. And this is how it turned out. Our little Christmas tree gnome in a pot. So totally looks like a Christmas tree. And then you get down here to the pot and you have an adorable little gnome. And again, those stockings work great for that. I love using those for gnome DIYs. I thought about giving him feet, but I kind of liked it just as a pot, so I left it as is. Now, we're going to do a coastal version. I know a lot of you guys do coastal Christmas just like I do, so I thought it'd be fun to do a coastal version. So I picked up a bottle brush tree. I actually got this on clearance last year at Target. It's a perfect mint green color. And then I got a mint green metal pot from the Dollar Tree and another stocking. So we're going to do the same thing pretty much with a pot. This one's just a metal pot. It doesn't have any string on it or anything like that, but of course that's not necessary. So again, I'm just carefully, I'm kind of pulling this off. The only part I really have to cut is like the nose, and you can kind of trim it up and save that pom-pom. You could always replace that with a wood bead too if you kind of like that look better, but I'm fine with like the little plush nose on these. And this is the pot we're going to decorate. Now this pot is not quite as tall as the other one, so we will have to trim the beard down a little bit. I try to cover like the hole and the seam in the pot with my beard so that the rest of the pot's going to look really nice. And I just hot glue that down to the very top, trying to fit as much as I can get on there. And then I was kind of seeing if I could maybe just leave it the length that it was, but I am going to have to trim it up a little bit. So I just go ahead and glue down both sides just to kind of tack it down. And then I just went in and kind of trimmed it up, kind of cut a new point back here. It's okay for it to be a tiny bit longer, but it was just a little bit too long for this pot. And I just try to shape it up, make it look a little bit more natural there on the sides. Super cute. And then for a coastal version, instead of like having greenery go around the top, or the bottom of the hat, I decided to use Dollar Tree rope. I thought that would be very coastal. So I'm using the thicker white rope. And I'm going to start here. I'm going to do 2 rows of this. Even though it's thicker, I think I need 2 rows to do like the brim of the gnome hat. Or one of you guys told me if they don't show their eyes, they're called gonks. Have you guys ever heard of that? Gonks. Really cute. I love decorating with gnomes or gonks. They're so fun and they're so fun to make. So I just hot glued mine all the way around, and then continuing that same rope, I'm going to hot glue that all the way around too, kind of pushing down my nose a little bit to make it all fit. And then we'll just have the ends of the ropes be back here in the very back of the pot where you won't see them. And I just attached that with hot glue to the pot, and that's pretty much it for the pot part. Super cute, and how coastal are these colors? I love them. And the rope definitely gives it a little coastal. And again, I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree black rocks just to weigh it down so it's not like top heavy or anything. And then we're going to use some Dollar Tree foam just to kind of fill it up and give me a flat surface for my tree. Now for the bottle brush tree, I wasn't sure how to decorate it, and then I was like, oh, coastal, we should just do seashells. So I'm using the little bottled seashells from the Dollar Tree. I'm using the white and brown ones. The ones are like spiral shape. I thought these would be really, really pretty, and I kind of wanted to just stick to like one kind of seashell, but you know, you could use whatever's in your stash. And I'm just putting a dot of hot glue on the back of the shell and kind of sitting it in there, gluing it to the bottle brush. And I'm just trying to kind of scatter them all over so there's kind of even coverage. But again, they're all different like kind of shapes and sizes, but I kind of like that look. And again, we're not going to do a tree topper on this tree because I want to keep the shape of the gnome tree or the gnome hat. And so this kind of gave me a flat surface to put the little base of my tree on there. And it fits perfectly right inside. I'm just going to try to see which way I like it the best and kind of just tack it down with a little bit of hot glue to that foam so it will stay in place. And this little gnome pot DIY was so easy to do. I love how it turned out, and it's very coastal. So let me give you a peek. It's kind of hard to show you. And I think he's so cute. So this is the coastal version. We did a traditional version, and this is the coastal version. I did consider adding lights to this, but I wasn't sure where I would hide the light battery pack. I guess you could do it on the very back of your pot, but I really didn't want anything sticking out from the pot in case you can see it from the sides or anything like that. But there it is, our little coastal gnome tree. Very fun for Christmas. Hey guys, I wanted to let you know that I've introduced memberships here on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos, and it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube. All you have to do is hit the join button on my YouTube page, or underneath this video, I guess. Now for the next DIY, I picked up 4 packages of the little 4-packs of gnome ornaments, and then I picked up 2 of the wood bead garlands from Dollar Tree, and I thought we would make a really cute little wood bead and gnome Christmas garland. You know, you could use this for your mantle or, you know, the top of your shelves or cupboards or anything like that. I actually don't have a mantle or fireplace in my house, and so I actually made mine to go over the top of a door, and it actually turned out really cute. So I just tied 2 of them together, you know, making sure they were all continuous, so I just kind of untied the ends. I'm going to leave these ends tied, though. They're going to be the ends of my wood bead garland, and I wish they made these longer because you totally need 2 packages of these to kind of make a decent size wood bead garland. So I'm just going to kind of leave it as is. I think the natural looks really pretty. You could also do it with the white wood bead garland they have strung from the Dollar Tree. That would be really cute too. And these have little string hangers on them already. So I'm going to take advantage of that by just simply double tying those in between the wood beads. And whenever I do a garland like this, I always try to do like an odd number. So I found the very center of mine, and I put 1 there, and we're going to use 15 because I always want to do an odd number. So I bought 16. We're going to use 15 of these little gnomes. And so I just counted over like 4 of the wood beads and tied it on. I'm trying to make sure that I'm tying them all about the same height and having them all kind of face away from me just because it was kind of easier to get in there. And the only thing challenging about this was trying to get your fingers in there to tie like that little string. Just kind of see what you're doing, but otherwise it was super easy to do. And originally I was going to make these into a like gnome wreath, but then I thought a garland would be really fun. I don't really have anything like that, and sometimes it's fun to decorate the top of your doorways, especially for Christmas. So I actually put this on the top of my doorway going into my garage, and I think it's going to be really fun. You know, Thanksgiving is over, so I can officially decorate and take down my Thanksgiving and fall decor, which, oh, I love my fall decor. But it's time to put up all this Christmas decor. So I went all the way to the end. There's a little bit few more beads on the end, but that's okay. because I'm going to need some wood beads there to hang it. And then I just start working in the other direction, skipping 4, tying one on, skipping 4, tying one on, until I get the entire wood bead garland filled with gnomes. And you don't have to do as many as me. I was trying to go like overboard with gnomes. I wanted it to be very Christmas gnomes. I think these look like little Santas, so I think they're adorable. So I loaded mine with gnomes. So this is how it looks. So fun. And this is how it looks hanging on my door. I just used some foam tape pieces on the top of my door ledge to hang the string and kind of sandwich them in between 2 of those on each side to keep it secure. We'll see if that holds it. I might have to put like maybe a stronger hook up there. But we don't really have any tall people in our house, so I don't think that anybody's going to be hitting their head on it or anything like that. But I thought it was super fun. Okay, the next DIY, I picked up these mittens and hat combination at the Target dollar spot for $5 because I really wanted the mittens to make winter DIYs with. So I have this stocking hat left over. It's mint green. I think it's beautiful, and I thought it would make a really fun snowman hat. So we're going to take that, one of the little fake carrots from Dollar Tree, and some microfiber duster mop pads, and we're going to make a snowman gnome. I didn't know if I could pull this off, but we're going to give it a try. Now, if you recognize that the tags are a little different on these, I actually picked these up at Pop Shelf for $1 instead of Dollar Tree. The only difference I noticed is they're a little bit woolier, so you can totally use ones from the Dollar Tree. They're almost exactly the same. They're definitely the same size. And then I got a wood round from the Dollar Tree. Have you guys seen that they kind of changed the hangers on these? Kind of cool. And I thought we could put it all together and just make a snowman gnome head, just the head part. So let's see if we can pull it off. I thought if we used the little microfiber mop heads, it would give that gnome look, like the fluffy beard of a gnome, right? So I'm just going to take hot glue, and I'm going to glue 1/2 of the wood round. It's pretty much a perfect fit for one of these mop heads. There's going to be a small gap where they have the rounded edges right there in the middle, but I will fill that up. And I'm not cutting them first. They are a little messy when you cut them. I thought it'd be easier just to glue it all down first. So I just make sure I use enough hot glue to secure that mop head. And when you put them side by side like that, it's pretty seamless. You can kind of fluff it all up for a cute little snowman head. Then I just flip it over, and I'm just going to use some scissors. I was trying to find my sharp scissors, and somebody had ran off with them, but I went and found them because I kind of needed them for this, because this can be a little messy. It gets, it sheds when you cut it. So I'm just cutting all 4 corners off, trying to get that round shape of the snowman head and trying to minimize the mess with that. Now, again, I told you there was going to be a little bit of area here where the 2 pads came together. They did have rounded edges where there was going to be a little hole. So I just used hot glue and some of the leftover fuzz that I had just to fill in those 2 tiny areas. But otherwise, the rest of the head is all covered in this like snowy looking mop head. So cute. I thought that'd be perfect for a snowman. And I saw this carrot the other day at Dollar Tree in with like their fake fruit and vegetables, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need that for a snowman. So I'm going to kind of put it on there where it can kind of be sitting out a little bit, but going to one side. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the greenery on there. Then I realized that the hat was going to interfere with the hanger. And so even though I left the hanger on there, I decided I probably needed to remove it. And I'm just going to have to make a new hanger once I get the hat on there. And those hats are super stretchy, so it's definitely going to go over this big wood round. Then I thought for a snowman mouth, it'd be really cute to do like black buttons. And so I have one of those little button packages from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going through trying to find like, 5 like medium-sized black buttons. I didn't want anything too colorful. It was a little challenging, but I was able to do it. And again, it's going to be a gnome snowman, so there's not going to be any eyes because the hat's going to cover it up like a gawk. And then I just use a tiny bit of hot glue to kind of secure those buttons down into the microfiber mop head to make our little snowman smile. And I wasn't sure, like I was trying to find if anybody else had done this and nobody else had done it. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull this off, but I love how it turned out. I think it's so creative. So I'm going to leave the greenery on there. I thought I could use that to actually attach it. It's going to be hidden under the hat anyway, so you won't be able to see it. And to attach it, I just used my staple gun. And you're going through that fluff and stuff, and it worked out perfectly with that wood round, even though it's nice and thin. Now it's time to put our little stocking hat on our snowman. You could always do a more traditional snowman hat if you want, but I think a stocking hat works perfect for this. So I told you it was super stretchy, so I stretch it over, and I'm going to have it like sideways. I thought that would be cute. And then have it slightly overlap our little carrot, having the carrot kind of go off to the side. It's going to be kind of 3D, but it's still kind of going to go off to the side. And then I just hot glue the stocking hat to the carrot. I also hot glue it around the edges to kind of like, mask that in, like the eyes are covered up with a little gnome hat or stocking hat. And this DIY could not be any easier, and it just turned out super sweet. I absolutely love how it turned out. So basically, that's all there is to the snowman. I guess you could do multiple wood rounds on top of each other if you wanted to do a whole snowman body. But I just made this for a door hanging for Christmas or winter, and I think it turned out so fun. I love the gnome snowman idea. Now, since I had to get rid of my hanger, I'm going to have to make a new one. So I just tie some knots and some Dollar Tree twine, and I just staple that right through the stocking hat. That staple is going to help keep the stocking hat in place too, so kind of win-win. And that's all there is to it. There is our little gnome snowman head. I absolutely love him. I think he is super sweet. And I love the color of that like hat and those mittens from the Target dollar spot. Super cute, but you know what? You could always use any kind of stocking hat you've got around. If it has like a ball on the top of it like that, it's really going to give it that fun, festive winter feel. But how cute is that like realistic looking carrot for the nose? Okay, guys, we're going to switch over to Christmas movies. And I don't know about you, but our family, we really love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's our favorite Christmas movie. So I have tons of Christmas Vacation DIYs for you today. And we're going to start with Christmas ornaments. I'm going to show you how to make a set of 6 Christmas ornaments, all inspired by scenes from the movie. And we're going to be using these little wood slice ornaments from the Dollar Tree. They're a little over 3 inches, and the great thing about them is they already have the holes pre-drilled in them. But you could always drill a hole in the wood slices they have that are not the ornament ones. I designed 6 images, all inspired by different scenes from the movie to make these. I made them all like about 3.5 inches, some of them like 3.25 inches, just because some of the wood slices were a little smaller. And this is the first one. This is the Jelly of the Month Club, that famous bonus that Clark didn't really want. He wanted his cash bonus for Christmas. And then I just lay my wood slice on top using an ink pen to draw that out. Then I'm simply just going to go in and cut that out. I don't want it to go over the edges of the wood slice if I can. So I trim it once, kind of like check it out to see if that's going to work. And then I can always trim it more because I want to make sure I don't have like any paper going over the sides. And I have so many printables and SVG cut files for you today that I had to make an entire folder on my Google Drive. So I'll be sure to share those with you. I'm going to do a nice thick of coat of Mod Podge here on my wood slice. Because the wood's kind of rough, it kind of soaks it in, and the cardstock that I printed these out on, is nice and thick, so I need that to be secure. I just lay it flat on top. Gave mine a quick trim there because I didn't really like something I saw there, making sure all of my edges were down. And you don't even really have to wait for this to dry with cardstock. You can just go over the top of it with another coat of Mod Podge to seal that on. I'm going to go in with my heat gun and give that a quick dry, and then we can poke a new hole in there so that we can string up our ornament on there. You can kind of feel around where it's going to be. I like to use a little Cricut weeder to poke a little hole in there, and I really had no problem at all feeding these little thin pieces of twine through. I found that they hang a little bit better if you go ahead and tie them off first, so I tied mine off twice. to the wood slice, and then I tie it again to form a loop. I find they hang like straighter that way, not sideways. And I think that is so cute, the Jelly of the Month Club. I wanted to add a little bit of decor to the top, nothing much. I have a little bit of this red bead garland left over from Valentine's Day. And it kind of reminded me of the berries that were on the Jelly of the Month Club image there. So I thought I would cut down just a little bit of that. I'm not sure if they have this for Christmas, but they might. Valentine's and Christmas stuff can be used pretty interchangeably with the red color. And then I'm just going to use a little dot of hot glue on the very top of my wood slice and attach that. Now, I made all of my images on the same sheet, so I will be sure to include that, even though I did kind of custom size some of mine. But I'll also be sure to include each one of these images for the ornaments as an individual file in my Google Drive for you to kind of scroll around, find out what you want to print, and you can make a little Jelly of the Month Club ornament just like this. So cute. Stick around a little later in the video. We're actually going to be making a Jelly of the Month Club DIY. Just a funny scene, and I'm going to actually put all these together on this little tree I got at Dollar Tree Plus to do a themed Christmas tree. And I think these would also be really good to give as a gift because you could give a whole set of ornaments, and I think anyone that loves the movie would enjoy it. The next image I designed was a little white cat wrapped up in a Christmas present, and the present saying meow. So this represents a scene where Aunt Bethany, accidentally wrapped up her cat as a gift, which was super funny. And so I even made sure to give it a white tail to represent the little cat from the movie. And of course, we have to have the little present saying meow when you shake it. And I'm just cutting that one down to size. And I'm using AI to create all of these images for you today. I gave it a lot of details from a scene of the movie that I wanted to recreate. It did a great job. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking me which AI program I'm using. And I'm just using ChatGPT, the paid version. It has built-in DALL-E 3. And like how I would do it would be, I would say, design me an image. I want a Christmas present. And in it, I want a white cattail sticking out, and see what it can do. If you don't like its results, you can always regenerate, making changes or adding new details. The only thing the AI just can't spell. So if you want to add words or anything like this, you'll have to do it later. I do mine with Canva, but it does a great job. So I'm just going to tie this one off. I poked a hole and put the twine in there. Now for decor for this piece, I thought it'd be fun to represent the little white cattail. So I picked up one of these little white boas from Dollar Tree. These are like toys, but they have them in with Christmas, I think, because so many people use them to make Christmas trees, which was my plan for it. And I'm just going to cut off one little boa here, boa piece, feather, and glue it to the very top. And it kind of looks like the little furry white cattail sticking out of the little Christmas present. So here's little Aunt Bethany's cat. Super fun. And again, I think that this would be a great gift idea. I'm sure many of you guys know people that really love this movie, and pairing them all together as a set is a really fun idea. This is how it looks hanging on that little Christmas tree from Dollar Tree Plus. We have two now, 2 Dollar Tree Pluses in my town. Can you believe it? Well, we might have more. I haven't been to some of the other ones, but I know we have two. Now, the next image I had to make a tiny bit smaller. They're all like about 3 inches. This one was a tiny bit smaller. The image I designed was a little squirrel wearing a Santa hat playing with Christmas lights and Christmas trees. And this was inspired by, Clark bringing the Christmas tree in from the yard and then being attacked by the squirrel when he was dressed up as Santa. I thought it'd be fun to bring all those pieces together, and how cute is this little squirrel? It's so adorable. I'm just going to kind of trim this one down to size. This one was kind of a little bit odder size, but you can kind of trim it down to however you want. And I printed all mine all out on one sheet of cardstock. I just find that it's easier to Mod Podge with. You don't have to worry about wrinkles. It helps with drying and stuff like that, and it makes it super sturdy. So I put Mod Podge under and over, give it a quick dry, and we are getting really good at this now. I'm going to poke a hole in here. Sometimes it was a little trickier to find. and just thread or twine through, tying this one off as well. Now, since this one is like the little squirrel in the Christmas tree, I thought we would decorate the top of this one with a little Christmas greenery. So these are those little wired greenery pieces from the Dollar Tree. And I just cut down a little tiny piece. We're going to have it kind of go out this direction. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut a second piece to come out the other direction, just to give it a little bit of feel of a Christmas tree. Just something super easy, and I think just having a little piece of decor on these little wood slices just makes them look a little bit less plain and adds to the festive touch of the Christmas ornament. So there is our cute little Christmas squirrel in the Christmas tree, ready to jump on Clark's back, making everybody faint. That movie is hysterical. I love it. I think he's so cute. I love that image with his little fluffy tail. Now the next Christmas ornament we're going to make is Cousin Eddie's legendary RV. I designed a blue and white vintage RV. I wasn't able to make it quite as dirty as his, but you kind of get the idea. I also decorated it for Christmas. I thought would be cute. And so I'm just going to lay the little wood slice right here on top. And again, I'm just using an ink pen to draw that on so I can get it, you know, going the same direction and that perfect like odd circular cut. And I always try it on first. It usually requires a lot of trimming here to get it just perfect for the wood slice shape. And I just love wood slice ornaments. I think they're so fun. I made a Coastal Christmas video with Cricut where I did some beach ones on these, and they just turned out so pretty. So that's another option you can do with those, is you can add vinyl to them and make really easy ornaments too. But I think, you know, Mod Podging it is definitely a fun use too. So I went ahead and glued Cousin Eddie's little vintage RV here on the front and poked a hole right in front, and we're going to tie this one up. Now to decorate this one, I thought it would be fun to do like, you know, little Christmas decorations on here, kind of like how I decorated his little RV there. So I'm going to start out with jingle bells. They have these little jingle bell wire garlands at Dollar Tree. I thought it'd be fun to add a little jingle bells on there. Cousin Eddie coming to visit for Christmas. So I just cut 2 of those off, and I'm just going to wrap those around the little hanger here at the top. They are wires. They should kind of stay where they're supposed to. And I'm going to trim off the excess. You might want to glue those on. I noticed that they do slide right off if you don't. I did have to go back and add like a little dot of hot glue to the bottom of each one of those to make sure that the little jingle bells stay on. And then I wanted something to represent like Christmas lights and like the greenery that's on there. So I'm actually going to use some of this berry garland. This is from the Christmas aisle at Dollar Tree too. And I'm actually just going to use the little berries because I think they kind of look like red Christmas lights, right? And I just cut off 3 of those. We're just going to attach just the little berries themselves. So I'm going to kind of pile those up here in the front, just kind of randomly with hot glue. And then I thought it needed a little greenery too, because I, you know, decorated the RV with like a wreath and garland. So I'm going to again use some of that greenery, the wired greenery from the Dollar Tree, and just cut off a little piece here just to provide a little bit of greenery with that as well. And we have Cousin Eddie's RV. That's an RV coming for Christmas time. Super cute, and I love how these all look together. They're so funny. My husband got a big kick out of these. He's a big fan of the movie as well. I think he's the one that got me hooked on this movie like 20-something years ago. Hey guys, I want to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about my Facebook group. I always have it linked below. You'll get to find out when I post new videos, and you'll get to see what everyone else has been crafting, and I would love to see what you've made as well. I also have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and my handle's Crafty Beach on YouTube. Okay, back to the Christmas ornaments. This one is going to be the family truckster. I designed a green station wagon with wood panel on there, Christmas tree tied to the top, And it even still has the roots attached. Now, getting AI to design this one was a challenge because it did not understand the roots, but I finally got it and it was perfect. So we're just going to cut this one down as well and just trim it as needed. And we're going to go through and Mod Podge this on. I do use this image. I loved it so much on some other DIYs today. So stay tuned for those. I was able to kind of remove the background too. So if you want yours without a background, this one has a pretty subtle background of like, I had it driving down a road with like a Christmas tree farm in the background. And we're going to Mod Podge this one on, just like all the other ones. So you can kind of see why I designed them as squares, since it is definitely not like a perfect round shape on these wood slices, but I think the imperfection kind of makes them even better. I like to kind of push my cardstock down with a paper towel. That way I don't really damage anything, to make sure it's all down before I go in there with my second coat, or my top coat, I guess, of the Mod Podge to seal that on. And again, we're just going to poke a hole and tie this one up as well. For this one, I thought we could decorate it like the little Christmas tree that's tied on top of the little family truckster. And so I'm just tying this one off. This hole, like some of the holes kind of go sideways through them. And so even though you can kind of feel where the hole is on the back, it's a little bit unpredictable where it's going to be on the front. So I thought we could make a little mini Christmas tree out of this wired garland from Dollar Tree. So I just cut a piece down, and then we're going to trim it to look like a Christmas tree. That was so easy. And I'm going to take it up a notch and kind of make it look just like the Christmas tree on the top of the station wagon. To do that, I thought I would use some of this wired jingle bells, but I just want like the brown wires. I think they kind of look like tree roots. I cut off 5 little pieces, and then I kind of wind them all together, having like roots kind of sticking out in all directions. They don't have to be perfectly wired together because there's not a lot of room there because I'm going to glue it on, but I just kind of tried to give it a rough twist. And then I'm going to come in from behind and hot glue that to the top of the ornament. And this little tiny detail of adding the little Christmas tree with the roots really made this Christmas ornament look super special. So I just made sure they were all glued on and kind of sticking out every which way, just like in the image I designed there. And here it is. We have our little family truckster with the Christmas tree on top. And the reason it has all the roots on top, if you'll remember, is because he forgot his saw. I have no idea how they got that out of the ground. And I think this turned out really fun. You kind of have to look closely to really see that detail of the little Christmas tree on top, but I love it. Okay, our last Christmas ornament that we're going to be doing today for Christmas vacation is an overcooked turkey. You guys know that they may have started the turkey too much. When they cut into it, it was completely dry and fell apart, and they had to like dip the turkey in water because it was so charred. So I have an image of a burnt turkey displayed proudly in the middle of a Christmas feast. Super funny, and just another funny scene from the movie. I love the part where like the mom is like pretending to eat vegetables during that scene, and she's like tossing them over like her shoulder with her fork instead of eating them. So funny. So many details in that movie. Now I just went ahead and Mod Podged our little burnt turkey on, making sure it's all trimmed, and then we can Mod Podge the top. We're going to poke a hole in it, tie the ornament on there just like we did before. And I had so much fun putting these little Christmas ornaments together for you. I hope that you can recreate some and get a good laugh out of these. I love them. Had a little bit too much Mod Podge on there. And again, I will be sharing the files individually, all 6 of these Christmas ornaments. And then I'll try to include the PDF of the whole sheet of them that I designed. That way I could just use less paper. And that is our last one. I do want to decorate it, so I'm going to use that berry garland again. I thought these kind of look like, you know, berries, cranberries, and I thought that'd be a fun little touch. So I'm just going to take a little piece of them. I want quite a few berries, and then I'm going to kind of wind them together in a circular shape to kind of make them look like, you know, a bowl full of cranberries or something like that. So I just keep wrapping it around, kind of gathering all of the little berries on one side. And then there's kind of a hole in the middle, so I can just put that over my Christmas ornament hanger like that to kind of wrap it on. And then I do need to go in there with a little hot glue just to make sure that stays in place. But it definitely looks edible, like food that would be part of the Christmas dinner scene. And that turkey looks like it has been in the oven for a while. So there it is, our little burnt turkey, our final little Christmas vacation, Christmas ornament. Super cute. I love how all of these turned out. And I'm going to show you how they all look together because they're so fun. This is how it looks hanging on my Christmas tree. You can see it's got like the green beans, the mashed potatoes, the cranberries. So it's all decked out for Christmas, a little fire in the background, and of course, the little burnt turkey proudly displayed. Now, I told you I was going to show you how these all look together. So here, let me show you how they all look together on my mat first. You can kind of see how all these little scenes go so nicely together. And if you tied them all up, I think they would just make a really fun gift for Christmas, or you can use them yourself. This is how they all look together on that little $5 Christmas tree from Dollar Tree Plus. Super fun and super theme. You could always add some more Christmas vacation things on here. Like if you could find like little stuffed squirrels or little like images that would remind you of something from the movie, that'd be really cute. And like top it off with like a Santa hat or something would be fun. Okay, let's start with some home decor DIYs for Christmas vacation. Now, I went on Pottery Barn. They have a Christmas vacation line, and I could not believe how expensive they were. So we're going to try to make our own. I got one of these little polyester plain pillows, and I actually got this at Dollar General for $5, but I think they might have these at Dollar Tree Plus. And I got some printable iron-on for light fabrics by Cricut. I normally do sublimation, but my sublimation printer is, I didn't use it for a long time, and it is so like clogged that I can't. So I thought I would try some of this printable iron-on materials from Cricut with my new Cricut Joy Xtra and do a print and cut. So that is what we did. I'm going to do the family truckster with the tree on top, and we're going to kind of make it look like the Pottery Barn version with a few modifications. And so I used the print and cut feature on my Joy Xtra, and basically you just print it out on the sheet, then it has you feed it into your Cricut. It's going to cut out the perfect shape. Now, I had never weeded any of this iron-on from Cricut before. I was kind of confused at first. But basically, all you have to do is kind of get under it a little bit, and then you can pull off the excess iron-on. And it did this perfect print and cut, even around these crazy edges of the tree roots and the Christmas tree. I was pretty impressed. And I designed a bigger image for my sublimation. I'll share that too if you are set up for sublimation. And I'll also share the individual pieces because this one I had to break into 2 pieces to be able to do this with the iron-on fabric. I didn't expect it to cut out this middle section up here, but it kind of did. So I'm going to go ahead and weed that part out too. And we're going to do the family truckster with the Christmas tree on top. Then we're going to do words on the top of it, very similar to the Pottery Barn version of the Christmas pillow. So again, this is the pillow that we're going to use. And I went on Cricut's heat guide, and it told me to do it at 315 degrees for 30 seconds. I am just peeling the little iron-on off of the paper, which is pretty easy to do. I'm trying not to stretch it out or anything. And then I can just simply place that where I want it to go on the pillow. And doesn't that look so good? I was really impressed with how well this turned out. Making sure I don't really have any white pieces left on there. And just kind of trying to center that on there and make sure all of my iron-on is laying super flat. Now it said to use like some kind of a cover sheet, so I'm just going to use a little piece of parchment paper to protect my Cricut Easy Press, and we're going to just press this on. You know, at first time I tried to do sublimation on a pillow that was already stuffed, that I couldn't take the stuffing out of, I was a little nervous, but as long as you add a little pressure, it's no problem. So again, my heat guide said 315 degrees for 30 seconds for the printable iron-on, and for polyester, which is where we're applying this to. And my image was bigger than my 9x9 Cricut Easy Press, so I did have to press it twice to get it on there. But look how beautiful that looks. Now for the words on the top, I decided to put like a wood sign behind it. That way it would be easier for the print and cut feature to work. Otherwise, I would have all those individual letters. I didn't really want to line that all up. So again, you just kind of have to find where it cut, peel off your excess iron-on material. And they do have this for dark fabrics as well. This Cricut print and cut iron-on fabric. This is the one for light fabrics. We're going to go ahead and center our little wood sign that says Griswold's Family Christmas at the top here. And combine that with our little family truckster down there for a really fun pillow. This pillow is, you know, fairly large. And so I wanted to cover as much of it as I can. And again, I go in for 315 for 30 seconds. And I'm going to have to press it twice because it is bigger than my Easy Press. I really need to get a heat press. I want one, but man, I don't know if I really want to store one. And this is how it turned out. I was so impressed. I think it was so easy to do using the print and cut feature. My Joy Xtra print and cut works better than my Explore Air. It's so easy and it works really well. You do a little bleeding edge on there, so it'll give you a perfect cut like that with no white borders. And this is how it looks in my home. Our little Griswold themed Christmas pillow. I think this is so cute. I'm either going to use this in my entryway or on the couch for Christmas because it would go with any kind of decor. Okay, up next, I found this great sign at Target Dollar Spot for $3. It's just a chunky wood sign, but I thought this would make a really good trivet, you know, because it's so thick. It's made out of wood. So I wanted to do a trivet for my kitchen. It's got a green leather handle on there, so I thought that kind of made sense too. And I designed this fantastic image to put on the front of it. So I went ahead and printed this out on cardstock. I'm going to try to sketch this on with a pencil, kind of working around the handle. And I had it say Aunt Bethany's Jello Mold Company. And I did a green Jello mold. And as you can see, it is covered in cat food, cat treats on the top. Just like from the scene from the movie. So I thought that was so fun. I had a great time designing that image on AI. And then I did like a red and green Christmas plaid background. And we're just going to try to cut this down to size. Now, I'm going to Mod Podge this on that Target Dollar Spot sign. But I didn't think Mod Podge doesn't hold up over like 110 degrees for the top. So I did have to seal the top a little bit differently because I want to be able to put hot dishes on this in my kitchen because I want to actually use it. It's super cute. But I can Mod Podge this part, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I do a thick layer of Mod Podge all over my little chunky sign. And again, I designed that as a square, so if the only thing you can find is a square, it would totally work as well. And of course, I'm going to include this free printable for you. Once I get a good coat of Mod Podge on there, we're just going to lay it on here, kind of smoothing it out with a paper towel, trying to get really good adhesion. I don't want any bubbles or anything like that. I want everything stuck down to the little hot plate. And I love these signs. I think they're so cute. I also kind of wanted to rough up the edges, making sure that I didn't have any paper kind of hanging over the edges, but I wanted to kind of distress it to make it kind of look more old and used, something that Aunt Bethany would have. So I went over all of my cardstock with the sanding block, just kind of roughing it up a little bit, giving it just a slight weathering. It was a little too perfect. Now, once I got that on there, again, I don't want a Mod Podge on top because I want it to be heat resistant. So I was reading that polyurethane, clear polyurethane, does a good job of holding up to heat. So I'm just gonna put a paper towel over my leather handle here. And we're gonna go over and spray this with a couple coats of polyurethane. It also brings out all the pretty colors and everything in that design as well. And it's super stinky at first, but it's gonna seal it. And supposedly this will hold up to heat. And I'll have to let you know how that turns out. I want it to be really good and sealed though, so I did go over it with a second coat. And that is like a matte finish, so it shouldn't be too glossy or anything when it dries. And here it is, Aunt Bethany's Jello Mold Company. And look at that hilarious little Christmas Jello mold with all the little cat treats all over. And it is super fun. We all love Aunt Bethany. She's so funny in that movie. And her Jello mold, Cousin Eddie really enjoyed. Cat treats and all. Now for the next home decor DIY, we're going to make coasters. I found a 3-pack of circular ones at Target Dollar Spot, but you could totally make these with the square ones from Dollar Tree. They're really easy just to redo. It doesn't matter which one you get because you can just cover up the image on them. I designed 3 printables to make coasters, the family truckster. And why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margo. The famous neighbors from Christmas Vacation. And I, again, designed these as squares, so you can definitely use these on square coasters from the Dollar Tree, but they work for circles as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these down to size. I printed these out on cardstock, and of course I will include a free printable so you can recreate these. If you wanted to make Christmas ornaments with these as well, that'd be super cute. I did a really fun red and green Christmas sweater pattern on the back of each one of them. I'm going to lay my little Dollar Spot coaster right on top and just using a pencil to sketch that out so we can go ahead and start cutting that down to size. I did a white circle on all of mine and then did the sweater prints for the background to give it a fun bit of Christmas flair. And I did them all kind of in the same colors of red and green to make them coordinate nicely together. So we're just going to go ahead and cut them all down to size. I made mine like exactly the same size. So it was a little tight fit here on the edges, and I just really had to cut off the corners on these. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to cover as much of the top of the coaster as I can. And I love doing themed coasters. They're so fun. The ones I have out right now are the coastal Thanksgiving ones that I designed with all the pumpkins on the beach. And I did those with the square Dollar Tree coasters. And we got all 3 of these cut out. The neighbors were so funny in that movie. Oh my gosh. And having Clark as a neighbor has got to be a little challenging. So I'm going to do a nice thick coat of Mod Podge all over, put the little cardstock that we designed right here on top, and smooth that down, and then we can just go in and start sealing the top of it with Mod Podge. You can use Mod Podge on the top of these. I do go in and kind of weatherproof these as much as I can too, to make them as waterproof as I can. And there are different kinds of Mod Podge. You could always use like a dishwasher safe Mod Podge or something like that on top too. That would work. And we're going to do the same thing here with I Don't Know Margo. And again, I told you we were going to use this image again. This is a little family truckster with that fun tree on top. And we're going to go ahead and Mod Podge that one down as well. This would be a great gift idea too. Something else that you could give as a set if you didn't want to use them for your own home. And again, I'm going to Mod Podge on the top of all of these. Probably not going to have anything hot on the coasters, mainly cold drinks. And so I just do a thin coat of Mod Podge on all of those. And then we're going to go in and dry those. And then I will also show you how I seal mine a little bit better to make sure they're going to be waterproof. Again, the cardstock is paper, so I don't want it to get wet. I also go in with a sanding block here to make sure I get any excess paper that may be hanging over the edge. If I didn't get it cut perfectly or applied perfectly, I don't want any excess paper. I really want them to look more professional. And the cardstock's a little hard to sand off, but if you go over it a couple times, it will definitely kind of shave it down right exactly how you need it to be. And those look pretty good. I am going to go over it with one more coat of Mod Podge to help seal it on there. Sometimes too much Mod Podge wants to come out. I don't know. I always squeeze it out. I think it's like the consistency of paint. And it's way thinner than paint, so I need to be careful with how much I apply. But I was able to use it almost all. And get that on there. We're going to go in and dry that. And then again, we're going to give the final seal. I'm just using some clear matte Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover. This stuff works great for coasters. And I'm just going to go over the top of all of them with one coat. It's going to seal them and make them all waterproof. I really don't like using spray paint near my camera because I'm always afraid I'm going to get some on there. But with the clear, I think I can do it. So I sprayed those all, gave those a nice dry, and we have a set of Christmas Vacation coasters. I love those quotes. We're going to be doing lots of movie quotes later on in the video. Some of them have profanity in them. You can always censor yours if you would like. And here is our set of Christmas Vacation coasters. And why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margo. So cute and funny and festive for the holiday season. And I love things like this that you can actually, decor pieces that you can actually use. They're very functional. And I plan on using these on my coffee table, maybe my bar, for the holidays. Today I have 45 gingerbread Dollar Tree and Dollar Spot DIYs and finds. For the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to decorate my entire cupboard in my kitchen for Christmas. So of course I wanted to do gingerbread. They're my favorite. So I'm going to start off with just a Dollar Tree wood slice sign. This one was kind of broken anyway, and I don't really need the hanger on it, so I'm just going to remove that. I like the fact that it's got the bark on there. I think it looks nice and rustic. So I'm just going to use my Cricut and cut down an SVG file, and I will share the SVG file on my Google Drive for you in the description below this video if you want to recreate. I just made it all one color and I cut it out on red. I have a couple candy canes and then it's going to say Candy Cane Forest. And I thought that would look really cute against the rustic wood sign. I'm going to hang that in the back of my cupboard because for the top shelf of my cupboard, I want it to look like a candy cane forest with gingerbread men walking through it. So it turned out really cute. It's one of my favorite things we're going to do today. Not only am I decorating my entire cupboard for Christmas with gingerbread men and gingerbread houses, I'm also going to be doing my coffee bar in gingerbread today as well. So lots of DIYs and finds for you today. I have found so many great things this year. So I got that on my transfer paper, and basically all I have to do now is just put that on my wood slice. I think that looks so good. Fits on there perfectly. I scrape it on there and remove it. And I'm using the Cricut Smart Vinyl with my new Joy Xtra, and that is a really nice vinyl. It was really easy to work with. And I'm just going to use some sticky foam here for the back so I can kind of just temporarily tag that to the back of my cupboard right about here. I think you'll still be able to see that above the trees we're going to line the forest with. Now our first tree is kind of big. I got this at Dollar Tree Plus. It was $5, and look how fluffy and flocked this Christmas tree is. I was really impressed with the quality of this. We do have $2 Tree Pluses now. I try to stay out of them though because I find that I spend too much money. But I think this is well worth $5. It barely fits, but we're going to have that be our large tree here in our little candy cane forest. And then we're going to kind of build up both sides, trying to create a path through it. I found this one for $3, another little flocked Christmas tree, and I got this one at the Target dollar spot. It's really pretty too. It's got like a little wood slice base. All I have to do is fluff it up. I was trying to stick with flocked trees. I really like that look, and I think it looks really high end. So this tree is ready to go. Since this is kind of big too, we're going to put that over on the other side. And then this is the Dollar Tree a dollar version. So again, it's flocked. It's on a wood slice. It's pretty high quality. This one was a little wild. I'm just going to give it a quick trim. But I found 2 of these actually, and I think that these will be good too to help make the little candy cane forest. And of course, we're going to add some candy canes to it as well. But I definitely wanted trees in my forest. So I'm just going to put that one over there. And then I got one last year at Dollar Tree too. That's exactly the same. Another little flocked $1 Dollar Tree Christmas tree. Now to make the snowy bottom, I picked up 5 of the little microfiber mop heads from Dollar Tree. I love using these for snow. They're so fluffy and no mess involved, so they're always my favorite. So it's going to take a total of 5 of these to cover the entire bottom of the top of my cupboard where we're making that candy cane forest. So we just removed all the tags on them, got them cleaned up, and this is going to be great too because I can kind of piece it around things if I need to. The only stand I really wanted to cover up was the Dollar Tree Plus tree. It's got this big metal stand. It doesn't really look like a forest. So I just put the mop head right on top and then kind of stack my little Dollar Tree, cheaper tree there on top. Everything stood up, but I did have to kind of work with it a little bit. And then I put another one of the mop heads on the other side. And I think a total of 5 of these is going to fill this up perfectly. So it's just a matter of kind of standing these up, seeing if they will fit. I guess you could always glue them down if you needed to, but once I got everything put together, it stayed together pretty well. So total of 5. Look how fluffy that looks. It looks like a nice fluffy snowfall. And I love the little wood slices that all the other trees are on. So I think that looks good. I think that looks good with the vibe. And I was trying to create like a little path that comes from the side that the gingerbread men can walk down. Now, I told you it was a candy cane forest, so we need some candy canes. For candy canes, I'm going to use a piece of white poster board from Dollar Tree, and we're just going to DIY them. So I was kind of seeing about how much I need. I think I can make 3 giant candy cane sticks out of one of the pieces of poster board. So I'm just going to kind of estimate and cut those into thirds. Now, I tried to actually glue this with a glue stick first, and it totally didn't work. So I'm going to use hot glue. Why not? So I just put hot glue along one seam and roll it, trying to keep that round shape. I'm not going to be doing like the hook on the candy canes. I'm just going to go for giant candy cane sticks. I just thought it would be easier. And so I'm trying to like leave my straight edges here where they're visible, but that can always be the back of my candy cane. And I just do the same thing on all 3 of them, putting a stripe of hot glue down and then just rolling them until they are secure. Now to make the stripes, I thought the easiest way to make candy cane stripes would be to add some red ribbon instead of painting. So I picked up some red ribbon from Dollar Tree, and we are just going to start this at the bottom of our little candy cane stick, right here on the back where we have our seam. And then just glue it on at an angle so that I can spiral that around my little candy cane stick. And easy peasy candy cane stick, very inexpensive to put together. And it actually turned out pretty good. It was pretty easy to stand up, being like the open shape that it is, and it's very lightweight. So I just glued the end of my ribbon down. That one looks pretty good, so I just need to do the same thing 2 more times here to make 2 more giant candy cane sticks. And I was really trying to figure out how to make them shape like a candy cane, and I'm kind of glad that I kind of gave up on that because I really don't think it would have added anything to it. These turned out so cute once I put them in the little forest, And wait till you see the little gingerbread men that we're going to put inside. So this is the last one. I just keep repeating the process. They don't have to be perfect. Each one can be a little bit different. Doesn't really matter. But I think 3 is going to be enough. And my cupboard has 3 shelves that we're going to be DIYing. And each one I'm going to be doing in a slightly different gingerbread theme. But they all look great together. So these 3 are ready to go. Let me show you how I put these in our little candy cane forest. I'm going to do one right here. And the way I was able to get them to stand up was to kind of have it lean against something. So I had that one lean against a tree, that one kind of lean against the back, and this one can lean up against this other larger tree. But you could always close the bottom with some masking tape and weigh the bottom with some pebbles or rocks if you need to, if you have trouble getting yours to stand up. But mine did pretty good. Now to line my pathway, I'm going to use some of these Dollar Tree wood slices. These are just rounds. At first I was going to paint them to look like candy, but then I kind of liked the rustic feel of just using the raw wood, and so I kind of just left them as is. And I'm just going to line that imaginary path that I have made there through the candy cane forest. And it's going to be all ready for our little gingerbread men to come frolic through the little winter wonderland. This turned out so cute. I kind of had a vision for this in my head, and I'm so glad I did it. I love how the shelf turned out. Here they are. I found these at Target Dollar Spot. Aren't they so cute? They're $3. They're like a medium size, and the great thing about these little gingerbread men is that they are weighted in their feet, so they stand up on their own, which is so cool. So I'm just going to cut off all the tags on these. One's holding a candy cane. One's holding like a little starlight mint, kind of like a his and hers. See how they stand up? Isn't that so cool? And so I'm going to have them walking down the path in the little candy cane forest. So we'll stand him right here where we can see him. And then we'll have her walking like slightly ahead right there. And I'm so impressed how they can stand up on their own. That just makes it so much easier to decorate with. Okay, on to the second shelf of the cupboard. This one I want it to look like a fancy gingerbread house village. So I found these little snow rolls for $1 at Dollar Spot. And they're kind of like polyfill. They really are like that. I think that's pretty much all they are. So I'm going to take this and try to line my little gingerbread village with this. I do kind of like the texture of it better when you kind of separate it, and I end up doing that. It kind of looks more like snow to me than the top of these do, because I don't think this looks that great. I wasn't that impressed with them. But I guess it's cheaper than what I did on the top shelf using the 5 mop heads from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to kind of measure, see how big I need these to be. I'm going to have to kind of piece this together in like at least 3 pieces to get everything covered. So I made another strip here to kind of fill out the back. And then I wasn't going to have enough to fill the other side, but I had another roll that I had picked up at the Dollar Spot. And so I'm going to use that to add to it. But you know what? I end up kind of taking them apart, so I actually ended up with lots of extra. But at this point, I thought I was going to kind of leave them like this, and you totally could. The great thing about these kind of roll snows are, you know, that they're not messy at all, but I do kind of add to mine to kind of make it extra pretty. I wanted just gingerbread houses. I want them to look really fancy, and I just want to do like a little village on this. But again, not that impressed with the polyfill, but we're going to make it work. So I like it better when it looks fluffy. So I just ripped the top half off mine. Makes it thinner, but then you get that fluffy like polyfill vibe, and I liked that way better. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to rip all of them in half so it's all nice and fluffy on top with the snow. And I like that a lot better. Now I wanted to do greenery all around the back, and I found this wreath garland at Dollar Spot, Target Dollar Spot for $5, and it's really beautiful. It's got this like flocked greenery, and it's got like little berries that kind of look like snowballs, leaves. It's really pretty, and I thought this would pretty much fill up the back of the entire shelf if I use the whole thing. So I'm just going to open it up kind of bring my ends together. Basically, I'm folding the entire wired garland in half. And then I can kind of shape that. I want it to be like an arc shape so it can like go around the back of my little gingerbread village. And instead of having to put lots of trees and everything back there, it's going to provide a lot of greenery. And I think it's so pretty. So I just kind of lay it like that. It's just kind of like a C shape. And then kind of spread that around. I kind of like the greenery and I want it to stand up. So I'm actually going to go in there and actually kind of stand up all of the greenery just to make it easier to see. Just trying to kind of smooth out my snow layer so you can't really see the seams. And then I just go around and stand everything up. Since everything's wired, super easy to do. And even though it was $5, I think it was worth it. It's just such high quality and really pretty. And I didn't really do anything to it, so I can always reuse it for a later wreath or DIY if I want to next year. Now, this is my inspiration for my little gingerbread village. We're going to be using this later on in the video. I got this at Target Dollar Spot for $5, and it is a beautiful light up gingerbread house. And so I'm just going to use that as inspiration to try to recreate that out of Dollar Tree houses. So this is the little plastic Dollar Tree church. We're going to do a little gingerbread church. I don't know why that part's not attached. I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue that back on. And I just want to do a glam version, kind of like that Cocoa Cafe. Here is the little Dollar Tree bed and breakfast. And one thing I noticed is that they have stopped putting batteries in these. I went to test them. The church one does have batteries. It must be one from last year. But all the rest of these, I had to add 2 AAA batteries to. So I went through a ton of batteries today. So that's me reading the direction going, Dollar Tree, where's the batteries in these? They're getting cheaper on us, huh? The good news is that AAA is easier to replace in these than the little button batteries that they normally use in them. But I got 2 of the matching houses. I thought those were really cute. And we're just going to kind of do a village out of all of them. This is the closest color I had. I had khaki spray paint. I thought that would be the easiest way to spray these plastic houses. So I'm going to take these outside, put them on some cardboard, and I gave them a quick spray. And it did a pretty good job. It's not like the exact color of gingerbread that I wanted, but I think it was definitely the easiest way to paint them. Now, kind of like my inspiration piece, I want like all of the windows and doors and details to be white. And so to do that, I'm just going to use a white paint pen. I was kind of going back and forth whether I should use like a fine tip, whether I should use the larger tip. I ended up using the larger tip because I don't really care if I get it, out of line and stuff like that, because it's supposed to look like gingerbread frosting, so it's not supposed to look perfect, and it was just easier to use my larger pen. And these are my Posca paint pens. I love these. I get them usually on Amazon, but they do have these at Target as well. They are in my Amazon shop listed below. They will paint on just about anything. They are so amazing. I do find that Amazon prices are better on these. They're a little pricey at Target. And then I'm just going to go over all of the windows of our church and like just any of the details, like along the steeple, around the roof line, anywhere where I can kind of see a detail. And I just do the front and both sides. I even did like the little brick here at the base. Anything I can kind of bring out, but I'm not going to do the back because you're not going to be able to see back there. And that looks really cool. I'm also going to be trying to add like snow and glitter to these, just like our inspiration piece from the Target Dollar Spot. So these are definitely going to be undergoing a transformation, but I love how they turned out. They turned out so fancy, just what I wanted. So for this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I just use my white paint pen, going around the roof lines, the windows, anywhere where I can see a detail that it would look good if I kind of outlined it. And again, the windows do have cutouts on them because of course we're gonna light these up. And anytime I can light something up for Christmas, I love it. I was able to light up this cupboard with these, and then I was also able to light up my coffee bar. And I love that, it's so fun. So I'm just gonna do the sides on the house as well, just like I did before. And maybe a little on the roof and the chimney and stuff like that. I'm not going to do the shingles or anything like that because I want to kind of cover that part of the house with snow a little later on. So those two were unique. And then I have two of these houses. They have like this little balcony at the top. So I thought that would be cute if I did like a dusting of white on that. And again, you're not going for perfection on these. You're just going for coverage. I do want to add some color to these after I get them painted white. So not all of these areas will stay white because I wanted them to have a little bit of red because I'm using red a lot today for my gingerbread DIYs because it just goes perfectly together. I just kind of trace out the roof line and stuff too, but again, kind of avoiding the roof with that one. And then I'm going to use that one as reference, kind of paint the second one the same since they are the same house. I just won't put them next to each other so you won't know. And yes, they do have these in a gingerbread house, and we're going to be using the gingerbread house one later in today's video for the coffee bar. But I was going for fancy high-end looking ones, and I think these turned out so cute. I do a comparison side by side here in a minute that I'll show you. You can kind of see the difference. It really was worth the extra work of DIYing these. I've made a larger version of the gingerbread house. I'll be sure to post a link to that video at the end of this video if you haven't seen those gingerbread DIYs, where I took two of the Dollar Tree toy doll houses and made a large gingerbread house. It turned out so cute. Now for the snow, I'm going to Mod Podge all over the roof of this house, a nice thick layer. And then I'm going to be using the faux snow from Dollar Tree. I love this because it's very sparkly. And my choice was between this and like the little foam balls. I hate those things. They're so messy. I don't think I'll ever buy those again. The packages leak and everything. And I just spread that faux snow all over. And then I decided to do the ground too around the house, just the very base. I add more Mod Podge and I sprinkle on some faux snow there. Very glittery. And speaking of glitter, for the glitter, I'm going to use spray glue from Dollar Tree. And I picked up some white glitter at Walmart. It came in a little multi-pack. I couldn't find any white at Dollar Tree. And I just spray the spray adhesive on the side. And I'm just going to add a pinch of white glitter. And it's going to give us that all over glittery frosted effect that was on my inspiration piece. So again, I'm only doing the front and both sides. I'm kind of ignoring the bag just because you're not going to be able to see it. And I just spray and sprinkle glitter just until it has a nice glisten. So that one looks pretty good. It was messy. I did put down some poster board first. Definitely put down something because you will have a mess. You know, I'm always removing glitter from things. I'm never adding glitter to things. So I'm going to start with the base on this one first. This one has kind of a patio area too, so I just put Mod Podge all over, sprinkle the faux snow, and then we're going to do the roof just like we did before. And this did give it a really cool effect. At first I was just going to use like white acrylic paint for the like icing snowy roof, but I'm glad I went with the faux snow. I think it turned out really pretty. Now it's time to glitter the church. So again, I used the spray glue. Sometimes I can have trouble finding that at Dollar Tree. Whenever I find this stuff, I try to stock up on it because it works great for gluing sand on. So I knew it would do a really good job with glitter, and it really did. It was so easy. So it shimmers all over our little fancy gingerbread church. We'll go ahead and set that aside. And now we have the two little twin houses, and we're going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to do glue on the ground and faux snow on the roof. And you can use school glue for this. I used Mod Podge. They're pretty much going to give you about the same effect. And then just sprinkle the entire roof line and go around the base. And then we're going to go in with the spray glue and glitter this. It was messy, but I was getting pretty good at it by the time I got to my third one. Now, as you can see, my color of khaki was just not the same color as the inspiration piece. So if you have like that color, totally go for it. Anytime I can spray paint like a detailed plastic house like this, I always try to do it, even though it has been raining so much here in Florida that the humidity was so bad. It took me forever to get the spray paint to dry on these. We had tropical storm and we didn't even have a hurricane. My son down in Boca got hit like 3 or 4 days. It just would not stop pouring. It was crazy. Now I'm just doing the glitter on my last house. Look how glitzy and cool these are looking. Okay, I told you I wanted to add a little bit of color. You could just leave them brown and white, but I wanted some details of red. I thought that'd be fun, especially since I have red on all my other shelves and in my gingerbread decor. So the bed and breakfast, I just went in and made the wreath on the door red, and I made the sign red, and they had like little garland. Anywhere I could see a little detail that I could make red, I kind of painted red, like the awning. And this one's got like this big giant door. And so I'm just going to go ahead and make that entire door red. And it also has like a little inset here on the roof that I thought would be cool if I made that red. I just wanted some red accents just to bring in a little bit more fun. I probably should have done this before I glittered it, but oh well, it still worked. And then for our church, I want to do some details of red too. There's like a little wreath on their door, and like a little stained glass and stuff. And I just kind of give them a few details. And I love how these turned out. I think they're so cute. Just touching up some of the pink, I kind of messed up. Got a little bit of red where I shouldn't have. And I think that these are ready to go. Now it's time to light them up. So I'm glad that I stocked up on AAA batteries from Amazon. Who knew? I love those Amazon basic batteries. I get them in AAA and AA. You can subscribe to those so you get them like, you know, a couple times a year or something like that. And they're so nice to have in stock so you don't have to run out to the store. But one thing I noticed comparing that, didn't need batteries for that one, must be from last year. The ones with the AAA batteries that I had to add batteries to are brighter than the ones that had batteries already in them. So there is that. And I guess they are easier to replace since they are a standard size. They are a little tricky to change their batteries though. I don't know if it was my cheapo Dollar Tree screwdriver or not, but I was able to get batteries in the 3 that needed them and got them all lit up. I thought it would be pretty to sprinkle some more of that faux snow all over our little polyfill snow to make it extra sparkly and beautiful in there. And then we can add our houses to form our little gingerbread house village. And these are definitely really very fancy gingerbread houses, and I love how they turned out. I think they're so cute. So I did the little bed and the breakfast. I did the house. Then to mix it up, we're going to do like the church next. And I'm just kind of doing in that like U shape like we did with the greenery, where it has like a little imaginary like circle drive right here in front. And there is our second little house. Now, these are the gingerbread houses that come like those. So you can kind of see the difference DIYing the others versus the original. You totally get a different effect. So I wanted to show that to you for reference. We are going to use that though. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button. It really helps. And make sure you're subscribed to my channel. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Okay, now for the courtyard, like there in front of the houses, I thought we could use one of these little Dollar Tree LED Christmas trees. Again, it didn't have batteries. So adding some AAA batteries to this, and it lights up. Now this one is color changing, which I kind of like and I kind of don't. So I'm not sure if I'm going to run this one or not. I did want it to kind of look like frosting. I didn't want to paint it brown because then you wouldn't be able to see the colors come through it. But I did want just little white tips on the Christmas tree to make it look like frosting. So I just used my white paint pen and just add a little dab of frosting or faux snow on the tip of the tree to kind of make it go with the vibe of the gingerbread house village. But I thought the white sparkly would be perfect since I use so much white sparkly. So this is how it looks when it's like changing colors. So it is going to make it more colorful, or I'm not sure if I'm going to turn this one on or not. I probably will. It's pretty. And I put that right there in front. Now I needed a few more trees, and I got these little trees from Target and clearance after Christmas last year, really cheap, but they're not flocked. So I wanted to show you how easy it is to flock any kind of cheap little tree that you get from Dollar Tree or wherever. All you got to take is some white acrylic and a brush and just lightly dust over, just kind of like you're distressing the plant, if you will. And it gives you a faux flocked that really goes well with like the real stuff. And you can see how just absolute easy this is to do. And it took these really kind of cheap looking Christmas trees and just, I think the flocking just makes them look way more high end. But I love these are in little wood boxes already, and so I thought these would be perfect to finish out my little Christmas village scene. I'm just going to pop one of these in each corner. They are a little tall, so I did have to kind of bend over the top branch on these to get these to fit. But they kind of go with the vibe of the other greenery that we added in there, and I think they're really cute. So one in that corner, got it kind of folded over. I pre-folded this one so it would be the right size, and pop that one in there too. Now our gingerbread village just needs gingerbread men. So I found these little ornaments at the Dollar Tree, and I thought these would be perfect. They're just the right size. So they are glued to these little metal Christmas ornaments, and I'm just using my heat gun and a spatula to pop these off. There was a little girl, there's a Santa Claus. This one is like in a winter hat and scarf. And I'm going to do, there's 6 of them on here for $1.25, but I'm only going to do 4. I think 4 is going to be plenty. Aren't they so cute? You could also use the little wood gingerbread men from Dollar Tree, but you would have to decorate them yourself. These guys were kind of ready to go. So I'm going to stand this little gingerbread man in front of his little gingerbread house. Stand this one kind of in front of the Christmas tree. This one's going to be over here at church, kind of in the like courtyard area. And then we can do this one over here at this house, the little Santa one. Easy peasy, and now our little gingerbread village is inhabited. Hey guys, I want to let you know that I've introduced memberships on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos, and it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube, and I really appreciate it. To join, all you have to do is hit the join button underneath my YouTube video. Okay, the third and final shelf of the cupboard, I want to do a gingerbread bakery theme. So I'm going to use this little wood house that I got at the Dollar Tree, and we're going to DIY a giant gingerbread house. I just removed the hanger and fill it in with some spackle, and I'm going to try to make this look like gingerbread. This is the closest color paint I had. It was just like in a multi-paint pack of paint that I got on clearance at Target the other day. I'm not even really sure what shade it is, but it's pretty close. I used to have a perfect shade for gingerbread, but I must have used it all. I think it was the Cashew Chalk Paint by Waverly. But this is pretty close to gingerbread color. I think it's going to work. And so I just use a brush, and I'm going all over. A little tricky trying to go around the windows and stuff like that, so you're definitely going to have to use a brush. And I went ahead and painted everything brown. I can always go back and change things to white. Now I want it to look like white frosting on a giant gingerbread house, so I'm just using white acrylic, and I'm putting it on very thick and gloppy to try to give the appearance of frosting. So I go over the little snowy roof. It looks perfect for a little gingerbread house. And again, kind of thick and gloppy. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on the windows. I think my brush might be a little too big though, so I'm going to switch to a smaller one. And I need to stock up on some more of the smaller brushes from Dollar Tree because I'm kind of running low on these things. And I use them a lot more than I think. And I'm just going to go ahead and frost all of our gingerbread windows. Super easy. And then I thought it still kind of needed a door, and I did kind of want to add a little color, so I just can't really see the door on there, but I'm going to just go ahead and sketch it on there anyway with a red paint pen. And then just for bold colors, I use red acrylic and just go in and fill that in with paint. I can kind of see some other details like the tree and stuff, but I'm not going to add anything like that. It's just going to be a very basic looking gingerbread house sign. So I got that painted red. I did have to go over like my little snowy roof with more white acrylic to really get that frosting effect. I want it to be nice and thick, and I don't really want you to be able to see the brown gingerbread through it, I guess. And I'm not being too careful, but I then thought maybe it was a little too sloppy. So I did go back with my original color and kind of touched it up a little bit because I was getting a little carried away with my frosting color. And I do kind of want it to look like, just like a real gingerbread house. We're going to make this a standing sign. It's going to kind of be the back of this shelf for our little bakery theme. So I definitely wanted to kind of try to make it look real. Now, I'm also going to frost the sides of the door with more white acrylic just by doing a nice thick coat, and I'll even do a little doorknob on there. And I actually want it so thick that I kind of have ridges in the paint to make it look like frosting. It does take a little bit longer for that to dry though. And then I kind of took some antique wax by Waverly and a chunky brush, and I just kind of dappled all over, trying to give kind of like a powdery effect to give a texture to the gingerbread to try to make it look a little bit more realistic. And then I added some of these little candy pieces, these stickers from the Dollar Tree, one on each side for candy. And then I was trying to figure out what else I could use for candy to decorate our gingerbread house. And I do have some red and green beads, but they are square, but that's okay. I think they'll be fine. I definitely wanted to do red and green if I could, and I found enough of those to kind of fill that out. I think I've used all my round ones when I was doing the large faux gingerbread house out of the doll houses. So I'm just going to kind of alternate red and green. It's going to give me the appearance that we decorated the roof of the gingerbread house with frosting and candy. And I think that's about as detailed as it needs to be. Now to make it stand up, I'm just going to hot glue on one of those little Jenga blocks from Five Below to the back. It makes a perfect little stand so we can stand this up on its own. And there is our giant gingerbread house. It's going to go in first on the bakery themed shelf. Now, this is actually my flour canister from my kitchen. I'm going to have to go over there and get it, I guess. But I thought it would go with the baking theme, so I'm going to put that here too. I thought that would be a fun touch. Now for the next item, it is a cookie jar that I found at the Target dollar spot. That is a gingerbread house. It was $5, and look how adorable this cookie jar is. So it's perfect as is. I don't need to do anything to it. It's perfect for the bakery theme. It's perfect for the gingerbread theme. So I'm going to kind of sit that over here on the other side of our little flower crock. Now, I also found this cookie jar at Target dollar spot. They had so many things. This was also $5. It says Gingerbread Bakery, but I'm going to use this cookie jar as a crock. It looks like a crock to me. So I thought we could put some baking supplies in there to make some gingerbread cookies. So there's a couple items I found. This is a little gingerbread man spatula that I found for $1 at the Target dollar spot. I thought we could stand that up in the crock. And then I also found a little mini rolling pin at the Target dollar spot. It's just kind of a plain one. It doesn't really have anything on it, which makes it great because I can use it for different holidays. That was in a $3 little pack from the Target dollar spot. And we're just going to kind of stand those in the crock. It is kind of big though, so I'm going to add a little Dollar Tree, little plush gingerbread man in there, so he can kind of look like he's involved in the baking process, and it'll kind of make everything stand up without having to get more utensils to put in there. But I think that goes perfect with the gingerbread bakery theme. So cute. We're going to display this here in front of my flour container. I was struggling trying to get the gingerbread man's spatula to stand up so that you could see it. And we're going to put this here in front of the flower and between that and our giant gingerbread house. And then I wanted to make a displayed recipe card for gingerbread. So I'm going to use one of these little easel chalkboards from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to DIY it. I created a gingerbread recipe card. And this is a free printable that I will share for you. I'll share the Google Drive below so you can recreate it. I sized mine perfectly to fit this little chalkboard. And I even made it look like it was on like an index card. I thought about doing handwriting, but then I was like, that's okay. We'll type it. Everybody likes a typed recipe card. And we're just going to kind of make this look like a recipe card stand. It'll stand on its own because it's the easel, but I want to do like a little shelf and then the little card on there with the gingerbread recipe. I did the dry mix and the wet mix on there. Now I did notice that you could kind of see the black chalkboard around the edges because this does have kind of rounded edges. So it's not a perfect fit, but it's pretty close. But I don't really want you to see the dark on that when I go to glue my printable on the front. And we're going to do that with Mod Podge. I printed out my printable on cardstock, so it's really easy to Mod Podge with. I just cut it down, glue it on with the Mod Podge like that. You don't even really have to wait for it to dry. You're just going to want to make sure that you smooth it out with dry fingers or a paper towel. And then go over the top of it with more Mod Podge to seal this. Just going to make it more of a permanent display, and it's perfect for the Gingerbread Bakery theme. And it turned out really cute. I did notice that you could still see the black kind of coming through from the chalkboard, so I did touch that up a little bit. And then I wanted to look like there was a little ledge that the recipe card was sitting on. And I had a piece of this bamboo that's really similar to what the sign's made out of. I get these on Amazon. They are linked in my Amazon shop. You could also use a dowel if that's all you had, but these are flat, so I thought this would work perfectly. I'm going to use my miter scissors to cut that down, and thank you so much to whoever it was that told me that I can replace the blade on those. I did just get some the replacements in. I ordered them from Amazon, and I can't wait to have sharp miter scissors again because mine are so dull. And that's all there is to it. We have a little gingerbread recipe card. How easy was that? And I will be sure to include the link to your free printable so you can recreate that. We're going to put that over in front of the giant gingerbread house. And then I have another one of those little gingerbread men from Dollar Tree. We're going to kind of stand him up where he's kind of like peeking out on the side of the card, kind of propping him between that and the wall. Now, this is a little sleigh that looks like it's made out of gingerbread cookies. I got this for $3 at the Target dollar spot. You know, their stuff's getting a little bit more expensive because normally I would think this would be a dollar item, but it was really cute, so I went ahead and splurged. I thought that would look really cute in front of our giant gingerbread house. Little gingerbread cookie sleigh. To help fill this out. Now, these were still kind of bothering me, so I'm just going to kind of rearrange these a little bit to see if I can get them a little bit sturdier and make sure everything is nice and full. I thought a cookie sheet would be perfect. This is a cookie sheet that I have, but obviously I don't use because it's so pretty. And so I'm actually just going to use that as part of the decor. Why not? A cookie sheet is going to go perfect with a Gingerbread Bakery theme. So I'm just going to kind of stand that up on its side back here. And I think that's the final touch to our bakery theme there. Now for the top of the cupboard, I wanted to make a banner, and I found this little make your own gingerbread banner at Target dollar spot for only $3. And I saw these little felt gingerbread men in there, and I thought, oh, this is going to save me a lot of time. It comes with a red and white twine, and it comes with a really cool plastic needle. I'll have to be sure to save that because I'm constantly making my own garlands. And look how cute the little gingerbread men are. They're made out of felt, they're all painted, they're all ready to go, so definitely a time saver. And these were in the Target dollar spot over with like the kids' toys and stuff like that. So I guess it's a kids' activity. So I'm enjoying it. And I'm just going to go ahead and string all 5 on. I think that's going to be perfect for the top of my cupboard. Now they did come with things to decorate them with, like little pom-poms, candy canes, candy, snowflakes and stuff. But they're kind of made out of paper and stuff like that. So I wasn't that impressed with them. I did save my pom-poms and stuff for later use. And I thought, I kind of want to do the peppermint candies. I was kind of looking to see how theirs were decorated. I thought I would use maybe just 2 of these. I didn't want to use a lot of them. So I'm going to make like 3 of my gingerbread men plain, and then I'm going to have 2 of them with little peppermint candies on them, just to provide a little pop of color. They are cool that they're stickers, but I think they look a little cheap. So I thought they looked better without it. I have enough gingerbread stuff going on in my cupboard already. I think this is going to be fine, especially with the red and white twine. I think it looks really Christmassy and fun. Now I have little command hooks at the top of my cupboard because I'm always hanging little garlands up here for different seasons. And so I just tie loops on the ends of each end of my gingerbread banner, and then I can kind of rearrange those until they're hanging all even, and that's how it looks on the top. Okay, our little cupboard is complete. Let me give you a little peek around. Here is our candy cane forest. Then we have our super glitzy gingerbread house village that lights up and is so cool. And then down here at the bottom of the cupboard, we did the Gingerbread Bakery theme. I was so glad that I kind of mixed it up. It's all gingerbread, but you know, I think it goes nicely together. So I just wanted to give you a little tour around and show you how it all looks like together. But we're not done with the Dollar Tree DIYs and dollar spot finds. We have tons more because I'm also going to be doing my coffee bar. But this is how the cover turns out. I have this in my dining area, so it's going to look great combined with the fact that I'm doing my coffee bar too. We're going to have a gingerbread takeover. So cute, my absolute favorite. Now for the coffee bar, I found this Gingerbread Bakery metal sign. This also was from Target Dollar Spot. I'm telling y'all to go there. They have so many things. This was $5, and I love to hang like signs like this at the top of my coffee bar. And it's not quite big enough to cover the entire top, but I thought maybe I could just use the existing holes in there and I could nail that to the wall. I did mine over to the side like that so I could kind of leave room to do something else on the other side. And that is going to be this DIY. So I picked up a Dollar Tree cookie pan and a Dollar Tree gingerbread man sign. And we're going to make it look like a giant gingerbread cookie baking on a cookie sheet. I thought this was a perfect excuse to use a Dollar Tree cookie sheet. It did have a little hanger on there, so I just go in and fill that in with some spackle, and then we can DIY this. Now, last year I did a gingerbread themed coffee bar too, and I painted the gingerbread man. You totally could do that, but we're going to try a different way today. I tried to pop off the little buttons to make it easier to decorate, but it split the wood, so you might not want to do that. They are really on there. Now this is how I'm going to make my gingerbread brown. I'm going to stain it with Antique Wax by Waverly. Now I know that's kind of dark, so I'm going to follow that up with a baby wipe and wipe off most of the stain, and it's going to give me a nice light stain. I like that really cool wood grain that the gingerbread is made out of. So it's not the traditional color of a gingerbread, but it's still brown. And I love the wood grain. I think that's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and do that all over our little gingerbread man. And it just makes him look a little bit more high-end, I think. Now for the frosting on his arms and his legs, there's a little pop-out band. So I just use a white paint pen and go over that with white. I'm also going to go over his little bow tie and buttons too, just to brighten up the dark stain so that I can go in and paint those a different color. And I noticed this little area that spackled stained pretty dark, so I tried to lighten that up a little bit with some paint just to kind of make that blend in. And then I want this part to look like frosting, so I do go over it with white acrylic to try to make it nice and thick. I draw some little eyes on with a black paint pen, 2 little round eyes, super easy. And my white paint pen did a little frosting mouth here for our gingerbread man. This is probably the easiest gingerbread man I've ever decorated, but he turned out really cute. The red paint pen was not quite bright enough, so I'm going to go in with a small brush and some bright red acrylic to make a little bright red bow tie for our gingerbread man. And I'm also going to paint the little buttons bright red as well to give him a little bit more color. And then I want these areas to look like frosting, so I want the white acrylic to be nice and thick. And I also use the white acrylic to make his smile nice and bold. I think he's ready to go. What do you guys think about my little gingerbread man? I think he's so cute, and he's the perfect size for the Dollar Tree cookie sheet. I'm going to use some of those foam tape pieces from the Dollar Tree to attach them to the metal. I think that will work better than trying to use hot glue on metal. And so I just peel those all off and stick our little wood gingerbread man on. And this is going to be a great decoration for the top of my coffee bar. It's nice and large, and I can kind of stand it on its side, and it goes with the Gingerbread Bakery theme perfectly. So I'm just going to reach way up here and put this on the very top of my coffee bar. I have 2 floating shelves on the wall where I DIY'd my own coffee bar. Now this is a classic Santa mug that I got at Target. I absolutely love it. And I'm just going to pop in a couple packages of hot cocoa. It's kind of functional. It's going to be on my coffee bar, right? And it totally goes with my Christmas winter vibes. It's going to go great with the gingerbread theme. So I'm going to put that up here too, where it doesn't block our little Gingerbread Bakery sign. You can still see that. And then I found this prop pack at Target Dollar Spot for only $5. It's got 2 gingerbread houses, a gingerbread man, faux candy canes, and it's even got like a little directional arrow sign with like little rolling pins instead of arrows. How cute are these? So that's where I kind of got the idea to stain my wood for the gingerbread man instead of painting it, because those gingerbread houses are wood grain and they look so cute. Look how cute these all are. So these are going to be perfect, I think, to decorate my coffee bar. You can also use these to decorate a tier tray. I think that's what they're kind of for. I was so happy to see that they got these in. They got several other things besides gingerbread too, if you're on the lookout. So these are going to be perfect because they're not very tall. So I'm going to like put the little village over here in front of the cookie sheet. That way it doesn't block that image, but it's still going to decorate the shelf in front of it. Put the little gingerbread man in between the little houses and our little directional arrow sign over here. We have like a little village. I'm going to save the candy canes to use for another project today. Now this is the gingerbread house light up miniature that I was showing you earlier. And we're kind of going with a fun theme over here, so I think this will work. And again, no batteries included, Dollar Tree, so popping in a couple of AA batteries so we can light this up. We're going to have a couple items on the coffee bar that light up as well, and this is one of them. Super cute. We're going to put this up on the very top of my coffee bar as well, right here next to our little Santa mug. Look how pretty it looks all lit up. Okay, the next find is I wanted to do like a little gingerbread man to kind of stand up there next to the little gingerbread house. And I found a really cute one at the Target Dollar Spot. He has a little green bow tie. It's kind of a miniature version of the $3 one. This is the dollar version. And I found 2 of them. They have different colored bow ties. We're going to use both of them, kind of scattering them around the little Gingerbread Bakery themed coffee bar. But they don't stand on their own like the large ones, but they will if you lean them up against something like the little gingerbread house. Now, I thought our gingerbread house needed a tree too, and I found this wood tree at the Target Dollar Spot. It's very plain. I thought at first I was going to frost it to make it look like gingerbread, but I kind of liked the just plain wood, so we're actually just going to kind of leave it as is because it's going to kind of be a background piece anyway behind our little gingerbread man, gingerbread house combo. Now, I always like to do pennant banners for my coffee bar, so this is no exception. I'm going to be using these little gingerbread man stickers that I picked up at Dollar Tree. They have girl and boy ones, and then I always like to do an odd number, so I'm going to do 3, and then I'm going to use those little faux candy canes that are so cute that were in that Target prop pack. Now, these are stickers, so I thought I would take advantage of that just by peeling the back off and just sticking it to the center of my twine that I measured for my top shelf of my coffee bar, and then just put the paper back on it, and it kind of sandwiches it in there. I didn't even have to glue it. I'm going to do that with my other 2, trying to keep them even. I did a boy on each end and a girl in the middle to kind of mix them up a little bit, and then we can fill in the gaps in between with those little candy canes. I thought they looked best kind of going the same direction like that. So I'm just using a little tiny dot of hot glue and gluing them about halfway in between each one of our little gingerbread men. Now I'm just going to attach these with a dot of hot glue on each end of my shelf. I find that works the best for me. I have my little cordless glue gun, so it's easy to kind of take it about the house with me if I need to use it for something like this, rather than put a nail or something in my shelf. And I glue that to the top, and the very top shelf of our coffee bar is already decorated. I was able to find so many great items today that everything just went so smoothly and quickly, which is my kind of decorating. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about my Facebook group. I always have it linked in the description below. We would love to see what you're working on over there. You can post your pictures of what you've made, and you'll find out when I post new content. I also have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube. Okay, we have one more shelf on our coffee bar to decorate with gingerbread. And check out this really cute little gingerbread man basket I got at Target Dollar Spot. It was $5, and I thought I needed this for my coffee bar. And I thought we would actually make it functional because it's a basket, right? I love to have candy canes on my coffee bar for the holidays. You know, you can just grab one for a quick snack, or you can stir your coffee or cocoa with them. Super fun to have a peppermint flavor. So I picked up a package of candy canes at Dollar Tree. And we're just going to pile these all in here. It's just the right size to hold all of them. And that way they'll be nice and accessible on the lower shelf where you can kind of reach them. And they provide decor as well. And I love the little gingerbread shaped basket. I told you Target Dollar Spot has so many gingerbread items this year. I just couldn't believe how many things they have. Okay, the next DIY, we're going to use a little Christmas ornament that I got at the Dollar Spot at Target. It was only $1, and it looks like a gingerbread house with a candy on the door. So I thought we'd make a little gingerbread house sign, combining this with another little Dollar Spot sign that I had left over from a couple of years ago. So it was just the right size, so I'm going to use it. I thought painting the back would be a little bit easier. I just wanted a bright red sign, so I'm just going to go over the front and the sides with this red acrylic paint. It's going to provide a nice pop of red and be a really cute background for that little gingerbread house. And I love picking up these ornaments and the gift toppers at the Target Dollar Spot. As you can see, they're so cute, and for $1, you can't go wrong. So I'm just going to attach that to a red sign once it's dry with a little hot glue. And you can't get a DIY much easier than that. It is ready to go. It's the perfect size for my coffee bar. This would also be super cute on a Christmas tier tray. And we're going to stand that right here in front, next to our little gingerbread basket. And it's kind of the wood grain gingerbread too. Now, I also found these at the Target Dollar Spot for $5, and it's a 2-pack stackable mugs that looks like a gingerbread man. Now, last year I had a gingerbread house mug, and I have no idea what I did with it. I got it at Target. I'm thinking I may have donated it by mistake because I couldn't find it anywhere, but these are a good substitute because how cute are these? And the fact is, you can actually just use them if you want to. So I'm going to stack my little coffee mugs here, perfect for a gingerbread themed coffee bar. And they provide a little pop of decor as well. Aren't they cute? I found so many things this year. Now, this was that Cocoa Cafe light up gingerbread house that we used for inspiration for our little gingerbread house village. This is the one that I got at Target Dollar Spot. It was $5, has batteries, and it lights up beautifully. So I'm going to put this down here at the bottom so I can see it because it's so pretty. Right next to our little coffee mugs. And this is the other $1 plus gingerbread man that I got at the Target Dollar Spot. This one just has a red bow tie instead of a green. So we just pop off the tags and he can stand up on its own just like we did before. I'm going to pair this one with the little gingerbread house DIY that we did. A little girl gingerbread, I guess a gingerbread woman, not a gingerbread man. And then I wanted to kind of fill the wall. I had some areas that didn't really have anything, so I thought we would make a little gingerbread sign. This is one of the 2 packs of wood shells from the Dollar Tree, and it makes a perfect small size sign. I don't really want the holes to be in it though, so I just sand those off and then fill them in with a little Dollar Tree spackle so that we can paint this and make a very cute little lightweight sign that I can hang on my wall.
to kind of fill up some of the space that doesn't really have anything there on the bottom shelf. So that looks pretty good. Again, I want it to be bright red, nice Christmassy color. So I'm using this bright red acrylic and just going over the front of my wood. And these stain great too. If you want to stain them, you can still see that kind of wood grain coming through. I love using those little shelves to decorate with. Now I picked up this 2-pack of window clings from the Dollar Tree, but you know what? The ones here that are puffy are stickers. They're not window clings at all. And I'm going to use the gingerbread man. I thought he was cute. I kind of want him to be at an angle like he would be on a cookie sheet. So I'm going to kind of put him over here on the side. And then I thought we could also add some more things from the sticker sheet. They have candy canes. They have little peppermint candies. I think those would be cute too. So I'm going to do the 2 candy canes over here. I just wanted a bright, simple little gingerbread themed sign and a little candy over here as well. Now I wanted to frame it out somewhat, but I didn't really want to add anything to it, so I'm just going to frame mine out with paint. So I want it to look like frosting. So again, I'm just using white acrylic, and I'm just going to do kind of an imperfect border around, just to kind of give you that look of white frosting on a gingerbread cookie. And then I am just going to hang this sign directly to the wall above some of those shorter items on the bottom shelf of my coffee bar to give it just another little bit of gingerbread decor and definitely a pop of color with that bright red. Now I'm just going to use some of those little foam sticky pieces as well. I think 3 is going to be plenty, and I'm going to stick it to my wallpaper there on the back of my coffee bar. Super easy, super cute, and this is the area here that I thought kind of needed something because the things below it were kind of short. So we're just going to stick that directly to the wall. Now for our next item, I wanted to do a garland for this shelf as well. And I thought that the scarf from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. It looks like something Santa would wear. It's red plush with white pom-poms and jingle bells on the end. And it's just the right size. I'm actually just going to use mine as is. And it couldn't be any easier. I didn't even need to glue it. I'm just going to drape it on my bottom shelf here above my coffee mugs that I hang above my coffee bar. Easy peasy. Now I thought the back wall there still needed maybe a few more things, so I found this gingerbread man ornament today at Dollar Tree, and it's a picture frame, but I want to make mine an actual gingerbread man. So I'm just going to pop out the plastic and the little picture in there, and then just kind of put this back together. That way it has a brown face background instead of a frame. That way I can just actually make it into like a large-headed gingerbread man. He's decorated so cutely with a little candy cane and an ornament. So I'm going to leave all that and then just make a face on him. I start with black paint pen for eyes and then white paint pen for frosting mouth. Now, I liked the frosting mouth. I did have to do a couple layers to get it quite bright enough to stand out against that brown felt, but I didn't really like the eyes. I thought it needed something more 3D. So I'm going to use some Dollar Tree buttons. I'm trying to find 2 black buttons that are about the same size, and I think these will be perfect. And I'm just going to hot glue those over where I drew the little eyes on him. And he's a really whimsical, cute little gingerbread man. Since he's made out of felt, he is nice and light. So I'm just going to use a little tape on the back of him to tape him to the wall and fill in some more of that area there that kind of needed a little bit more decor. I'm going to do this over here above like the little coffee mugs and kind of do him at an angle, just sticking him right up there. So cute. I really love how this is all coming together. I thought I needed a little bit more height on the other side. I decided to boost it up with these Christmas books that I got at Burlington's last year after Christmas for only 99 cents. How cute are these? The only thing I noticed is the wood beads kind of made it where you couldn't read the book, so I'm just going to remove those. It's red and white. It has Christmas messages all over the books, so I don't really have to do anything to it. When I originally bought this, I thought I was going to remake it, but now I'm glad that I didn't. Hot cocoa, Christmas cookies, candy canes, perfect. And I thought we could boost up our little gingerbread man basket to give it a little bit more height over here to kind of fill in the wall area here. And I think this is complete. As you can see, I also took Dollar Tree red mugs and I put all of our family's names on them in the Ray Dunn font using my Cricut. And those are hanging below the coffee bar. So now that our gingerbread coffee bar is complete, let me give you a little tour around. You can see all the fun details. I think it turned out really fun. It was really easy to put together since Dollar Spot has so many great gingerbread things. But as you can see, you can still make Dollar Tree DIYs because Dollar Tree has a lot of gingerbread things too. But a lot of times you do have to DIY them. And there you get a little better look of our Dollar Tree mugs. I did those a couple of years ago for Christmas, and they're kind of like stockings with our names on them. And I use them every year. I love them for Christmas. So cute. I love how everything came together and all the little fun touches for Christmas. And I told you that gingerbread men have like taken over my kitchen, and they really have, because now I have gingerbread everywhere. Which gingerbread is usually my favorite, everyone's favorite videos that I do every year at Christmas. So I definitely wanted to do another large gingerbread movie for you. And now you've made it to the final reveal for all 65 of the Dollar Tree Christmas DIYs that we did today. Thank you so much for making it this long in the video. It really does help my YouTube video get seen when you watch the entire video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and comment your favorite DIY down in the comments below, or just come say Merry Christmas. Enjoy!
It's white outside and the night is cold. Everyone's lighting candles in their homes. Yes, it's Christmas. It's a magic time. You can feel it in the air, that every child got their hearts filled up with joy. Yes, it's Christmas all around. Oh, snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing Merry Christmas to you. This time of year is a time to cheer. Let our loved ones, our family and friends have a Christmas with so much love and with joy and laughter. Let us make memories that stay forever. It's Christmas today. Oh, snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing Merry Christmas to you. Snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing Merry Christmas to you. outside and the night is cold, everyone's lighting candles in their homes. Yes, it's Christmas. It's a magic time. You can feel it in the air, that every child got their hearts filled up with joy. Yes, it's Christmas all around. All snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing Merry Christmas to you. This time of year is a time to cheer. Let our loved ones, our family and friends have a Christmas with so much love, and with joy and laughter. Let us make memories that stay forever. It's Christmas today. All snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing Merry Christmas to you. Snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. It's white outside and the night is cold. Everyone's lighting candles in their homes. Yes, it's Christmas. It's a magic time. You can feel it in the air, that every child got their hearts filled up with joy. Yes, it's Christmas all around. All snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing Merry Christmas to you. This time of year is a time to cheer. Let our loved ones, our family and friends have a...
And I want to give a huge thank you to all of my Crafty Beach Bum members on YouTube for supporting my channel. I appreciate you so much. And these are in the order of how long you have been a Crafty Beach Fun member. So thank you so much to Coastal Couple, Pamela Bergeron, I Am Mojo Jojo, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Carrie R., Tracy Knight, Vernon Noctegal, Nancy Wunner, Julie Miller, Tammy Coates, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Whitney Harrison, Maria Grace, Butterfly Mama, Donna Schreiner, and Tina Kane. And I want to give an extra thank you for Melinda Elizabeth for the very generous super thanks on my video. I really appreciate that. And now you've made it to the end of today's video. If you would like to watch more Crafty Beach DIYs, YouTube thinks that you might enjoy this video right here. Thanks for watching and Merry Christmas.